the person wasn't thinking about it until you kept suggesting it. So it was different situations, and I had to realize, like, look, man, learn from it, let it go, move forward. And if I encounter any situations, now I'm equipped with the information to avoid it or go through it. And that just gave me confidence of moving forward. But when you said that, I was like, damn, bro. And I told myself that, like, I'm living my past and my present. I brought the shit from my past into the present, and now I'm creating situations and scenarios. So I had to learn that shit, man. But y'all go ahead and rock out.
Okay, Rach. Blessings, blessings, blessings.
Hola, 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 hola. Across the border. What's up, Detroit? What's up, New York? I'm a clone.
Don't stay across the border. Shout out to Commander. He might pop up. You sending me
Come
across
in.
the border?
Commander came from the border. She's not just Caucasian. She got that. What is it? Ay, 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 in her. Arriba, 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 órale, órale. Ande, vamos. Commander got that Mexican in her. Órale,
Look,
güey.
listen. I'm chewing my taco salad, right?
Oh,
Y'all ain't about to sit up here and fuck with Commander like that. She ain't here to defend herself, so I'm gonna defend her. Y'all ain't sending her across no goddamn border. She's an American citizen. Red, white, and blue.
listen.
That's the
Commander got
orange
the
hair
border in
president.
her.
See, that's the new look. That's the new trauma we got. The orange hair president. He traumatizing us slowly but surely. We trying to get solutions. We trying to make suggestions how to work together, but they don't hear us though. Welcome to the nine.
Well, the big beautiful bill has been passed. How y'all feel about that?
To me, it don't matter. It could be. It's gonna make me beautiful as well because I ain't gonna allow it to get to me. Like sometimes when you've been through so many different things, you be you be so diverse with situations. You just think you prepare for everything, and sometimes when you've been through so much trauma in your life, you just like, man, I could build a bunker out of a paper mache. You
Yo, they
might feel like
bullshit.
MacGyver. You can just get through. You can just get through anything. All you got to do is be present. If you present, you can get through any situation that's right in front of you. Because a lot of the things we have already we have already been prepared for, and everything that we need has already been given to us. So I'm not even worried about it, to be honest with you.
Yo, they lying. They said that Trump, right? It says, wait, he putting the stimulus back out? That's bullshit. 10,000 per household. I don't believe that. I'll believe that shit when I see it. They lying to us. You see
What?
that word? 10,000 per household for stimulus
Well, if you
checks,
get if you get one, you let me know. I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting by the mailbox if I get one.
right?
Oh, side note, right? We was talking, but you shout out to riders. We was talking about Master Splinter in Philly. I was like, yo, hold on though. Master Splinter, he lives in the D, because that's my guy. He can't be floating all over from the D to Philly. We ain't doing that. Master Splinter's he in the burbs of the D. So we ain't gonna be putting Master Splinter in Philly. He over there in the D eating a taco right now. But go ahead, Rich. Go ahead.
Oh shit. That's some fucked up shit. We don't in that word.
I ain't about to hate on my taco salad, but anyway.
Wait, he left me with no words.
No, man, I was about to tell y'all, bro. I went to the reptilium, aqua, whatever it's called, the reptile zoo, and they had this big ass rat thing. I forgot what the name of it was. But I'm looking at that. I'm like, bro, if that shit was in my backyard, I'd shoot it. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. That damn head was big as mine. I'm like, what the fuck? And they was sitting up there chilling, eating. It looked like Snoopy, bro. It looked like a real life Snoopy. It was just brown. I'm looking like, what the fuck? I forgot the name of it. But I'm like, people be living with shit like this, bro. I'm good. That damn thing, man. If I seen that shit, I'm hitting it, bro. I'm good, man. Mm-mm.
If you see a rat as big as Master Splinter,
Man, I don't play with wild animals like that.
Chill. Listen, Master Splinter went over there with to
Mm-mm.
Nate the Great, and he borrowed all of his raccoons. They haunt in Philadelphia right now on some real shit. Then he went to Disneyland, and he said, "I need to borrow Mickey, Minnie, the kids, and the grandkids." And the people talking about, "Oh my God, we're about to get an invasion." I'm like, "Bitch, please. We've been invaded by these motherfuckers. Why you ain't no minute?"
That's what
Yo,
the great. That's crazy because like even in those situations, like you think you can adjust to situations like that, and it gets worse and worse and worse, and you like, how the hell we gonna get through this? How are we getting away from that? That's a brand new trauma to you guys, right? Like you always say, like we dealt with the little minor things. Now this thing is getting major. Now they about to start. Look, they starting to have fires in the bins and the dumpsters and all. I told you they was gonna do that, and that's
Gary
what I'm saying. People are trying to get away from them traumas. This is what I'm saying. All of the trauma that y'all going through. Now they worrying about other things. They worry about the police getting shot. Now they worrying about all of these other things. Why? Because trauma adds to trauma. And then when it gets too big, you're gonna lose your damn mind. And that's what people are starting to do.
shit. And like I said the first time, I said this is a trend. This shit is gonna start. But you know what's crazy? Is it a trend or did union workers throughout different cities get together? Because one thing I could tell you is that as me attending these community meetings, I do know that politicians come from other cities to Philly. Politicians from Philly go to other cities. They have sit downs, they have talks with different leaders within that city. You see where I'm coming from? So it's kind of like because Massachusetts has been on strike the same way as Philly for 7 days straight. I was like, this is not a coincidence. It's not like Philly started the Massachusetts went or Massachusetts started then Philly. No, this seems like a coordinated event. I hope I said that word right.
What's that? Coordinated?
Yeah,
Okay, you good. You got it.
well, that's what it feels like. I was like, wait. Now that I'm looking at it, like I'm going down the rabbit. How many more cities are in strike the same way Philly is? And what's really going on? Because
And
I
see,
understand the pay, right? But now I'm looking at the government because if the union workers dropped it, remember Gary, you was talking about it's a 3%, which was Gary said that's more
Mm-hmm.
than reasonable. They finally dropped it to 3%. I was like 5%, maybe 4% if 5% is too much. Gary's like, nah, I'll go with the 3% if 2% is too low or some shit like that. And I was like, I don't know. Well, we had the whole little debate right there, real quick, which Gary won, anyways, for anybody curious. Um,
Well, it was first of all, it wasn't a debate. We was having a conversation. I was just
yeah,
saying because they was wilding. Like I'm gonna ask word, right? Word. If you asking for a raise, what's the highest raise as far as percentages you ever heard?
I haven't heard of
Yeah,
15%. That's the highest I've
that's what they was
heard.
trying.
Not,
That's what they was trying to get off the rip in Philadelphia. We want 15%. We want a 15% rate, a pay raise. Plus, we want something else for the hazard pay. I'm like, y'all wilding. They can't even pay that. How they gonna pay 15% to 9,000 people? How they gonna do that?
hold on, who gonna
The
do it? The
the
city?
the city
the city was gonna do it. Yeah,
They can do it if they want to.
they can't do that. They ain't.
is a
They ain't
Commonwealth
doing. They
state.
can't.
Is a
That's the
Commonwealth state.
Commonwealth. They ain't getting no funding.
That's why
They
when
ain't
Gary
getting
broke
nothing.
down the math, I was like, "Oh, how is this going to work?" I do know the commissioners from both the fire department and the police department got their raise. So my thing is right, and me, this is coming from a leader of my community, right? If they got a raise, match their raise, because the sanitation workers do earn it. The dispatch or 911 dispatch callers who deserve it, match it. Even though we got some disrespectful motherfuckers working in this shit, match it in the straight. Because if that's why they came out fighting, because certain ones got a raise, but they didn't, I'm with them on that part. But I'm not with polluting my city to prove a point because ain't nobody gonna come and clean this shit. This ain't Mad Max.
I don't know. I don't know. Word been watching the videos. It looked like a whole book of Eli type situation. It just looked
That's how it's getting.
dumpsters, trash bag. Where they parking the cars at? You can't even park. The whole dumpsters and garbage bags in front of the house.
It's the hypocrisy for me because everybody with cars are talking about I ain't putting no trash in my car, but now everybody with cars is doing it. I'm like, look at this. Look at this. I'm like, man, I'm not proving a point. My trash is right there in my front because at the end of the day, I am with the workers. You see where I'm coming from? But I'm also with Sherelle Parker. But like I said, everybody take this higher up. Like it's like because okay, we had this little mishap right now. Doesn't take away what she has done for Philadelphia. It's because of this happening. Y'all sitting here making it look like the old head ain't do nothing. But in reality, she is. But she's doing it for the kids. She's not doing it for y'all. She's not doing it for us that are sitting here destroying the same city. Like I understand, but like I told people, I even exposed it on my video yesterday. The union worker leader said there is a personal issue between him and her. And that's why this is why it's getting prolonged. I'm like, that personal issue between him and her, then to top it off, Shapiro ain't going to budge because of the cuts in the budgets that we are a state. I'm not the only one saying it. Even when Gary broke it down, it made a whole lot of sense. We run off of funds. You see where I'm coming from? Where they going to get it? They're going to have to fucking route Peter to pay Paul.
Well, you find other ways. I mean, look, man, that's the most beautiful thing about our ancestors. How they found ways to make things happen. Okay, they do some fundraisers or something. Be proactive with it. I mean,
people don't want to move around. People are lazy. That's what I was telling Nate earlier. We was just having that conversation on this panel. I was like, listen, the parents ain't just get lazy. Like, it's like I hear so many people say there's no jobs. I was like, yo, I wish I could go back to work because there are so many jobs right now. The problem is y'all don't want to go to work. And it's good pay.
I remember when I was younger that the firefighters, the police, the ambulance, they used to have little carnivals where you can go around and truck and stuff. They do little things like bake sales. The police and shit did it.
They don't do that shit
fundraisers, bro.
People don't do that no more.
Now they just call around and ask you for donations.
You know what's funny? Here in Philadelphia.
I mean, like, bro, I need help. What the fuck you calling me for? Shit, you better call some celebrity in this shit. What you calling me? Asking I donate to the sheriff's department. Motherfucker, you donate. If I donate, do I get a get out of jail free card? What the fuck I get to donate? Let's talk about it. I get some type. I need some type of special treatment, bro, for my donations.
Listen, I was shocked when I was telling people. I was like, "Listen, we need to do fundraising.
Am I wrong for that?
Like, shit. You know what? Somebody mentioned to me the other day. They was like, "You know who ruined that for Philly?" And mind you, I don't hear people really mention that person's name. How is it that for the first time I heard person after person talk about, you know, Umar fucked that up, right? I was like, what does Umar got to do with this shit? I'm sitting here, I was like, what the fuck? I've never heard y'all motherfuckers talk about Umar till now. I'm like, I grew up in Philly. Like, I'm not here.
Know what you're talking about, bro.
I was talking about fundraisers, and I was like trying to raise money, get together, do this, do that. I was like, we being lazy as shit. They said, oh, we not doing that. Umar ruined that for the people. I said, what? I'm in this bitch like, hold the fuck up. You know what I mean? Either social media is coming out to my streets in my hood, or I'm fucking tripping. I'm in a motherfucking like, yo, wait a minute.
So are they trying to implicate that Umar Johnson is traumatizing people with the fundraising and donations? Is that what that was trying to say?
They're trying to say that when people and leaders of the communities come with that bullshit, we're just playing with their heads. We use the money for personal shit. We come up and we don't do nothing. They're like, oh, what you gonna do? Open another program like Umar and not do nothing about it? I was like, oh, here we go. Social media on the streets. I wasn't expecting this. Like out of this.
And so I guess he did traumatize people. I'm sorry, but even like man,
People stupid.
I don't know,
I'm
bro.
sorry.
Everybody different, but even people thinking like okay, to me they need something on like people been hustling since hustling been hustling.
Mhm.
Shit. I mean, you think Umar the first person hustling from the pit? Y'all remember Miss Cleo? She had a
Who?
whole phone
She had a whole
infomercial.
Wait,
telephone
say the
number.
name again. Say the name again.
Miss
Miss
Cleo,
Cleo,
let me
Miss.
know. Scamming the shit out of
call me
people, bro.
now.
That sounds familiar. I don't know.
She was a fake psychic. Well, I ain't gonna say a fake psychic. She was scamming people with her psychic abilities. I'll say it
Hey,
like that.
think about them damn televangelists. What they call them? Televangelists?
Televangelist.
Yeah, yeah, man. All them they've been scamming this Umar ain't fucked nothing up. He just played the game. That's all he did.
I mean,
God damn.
still got people scamming now. Talking about bring all the tithes into the storehouse. You ain't the storehouse. This church ain't the storehouse. Ain't that storehouse is bare. No canned goods, no fruits, no vegetables, no socks, no nothing. And
My
the
point
and
is,
the and the safety is the safe is empty with no money in it. Where the money at?
people
In the
take
car.
If you
people
think
take
about it, man, like when shit like that happened, bro. Like even who I was on somebody's channel, bro. And I ain't saying no names, but I was like, God damn, bro. I know I got my shit at the bottom of the screen, Coach D33. If you want to send a cash app, feel free. If you want to super chat, feel free. I'm always grateful and appreciative. But I ain't about to be out here, hey, y'all need to pay me. I'm putting some good information out. Y'all need to donate to me. And then try to make you feel bad about donating to other people. I'm like, man, what the fuck is going on? That shit made me, well, I hear people do that, bro. I be like, man, I ain't fucking you. Fucking you keep telling me to donate. If I want to donate, motherfucker, I'm gonna donate. But if I don't, then just be happy I'm here. Shit. What about that? I ain't gotta spend my motherfucking time. You want my dime and my time. Like, what the fuck is going on? Okay, let me be quiet. Somebody clip that. I'd be like, nah, man, I can't do
Somebody
that,
got
bro.
it
I'd
in the
be great.
back.
Somebody in the back.
No, I said somebody clipping that in the
Oh,
back.
oh,
yeah. Hey,
yeah,
word
me
of
coming in the
oh
house.
shit.
But I'm serious, bro. Like, that should be weird. Like, motherfuckers begging and shit. Like, it
People weird.
reminds me of that it's bacon, 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 bacon. Like, man, shut the fuck. Like, bro, I can't do it, bro. I be grateful. I appreciate it. I get excited and happy when people donate because it's like, damn, I do work hard. But shit, I ain't got, if I feel like, um, I ain't appreciated, then I just won't come on this motherfucker. I ain't about to beg you for no dollar. I can go make it. And if I can't make it here, I'm gonna go make it somewhere else. That's just how I feel. So I'm not gonna be on here begging nobody for shit. It be motherfuckers on here trying to guilt trip you. You be donating to all them motherfuckers, but you don't donate. And I be like, damn, what your husband? Like, it's worse. I don't know who it's worse for, honestly, man or women. It's bad for both of me. I guess
I
I
don't
feel
know, but
different ways. I guess I feel different
I don't
ways
know.
though.
They traumatized. They traumatizing me right now. That's why I don't even want to put. That's why I don't even put it up there. It's like, yo, y'all make it so bad for somebody, even if they're doing things correctly. Even if somebody do want to donate, y'all make a person feel bad for wanting to donate. That's
Hmm.
ridiculous. Like, what's wrong with you people? Y'all making somebody's cheerful heart become sour because you think you deserve. If you deserve it, you
Hmm.
earned it. Like, what are you talking about? This is why I say a
Right.
lot of the time, you know, we should be doing things and not saying thank you for it. Like, if we're doing this out the kindness and compassion of our heart. If somebody wants to do that, we appreciate that. But it's not really saying thank you. It's more like, yo, we appreciate what you're doing. So, continue to do it. Sometimes doing this, it really can be a thankless job, right? It's not even a job, it's just a thankless thing. But when your passion has a thing, like the past couple of days, Rachel has so much passion about what's going on in her town, and she has every right to feel that way. And that's why, even if it was just me and her, we sat there and talked for about 3 hours, just having a conversation. Like, this is what I think might happen. Da 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 da. It's all because when you have that compassion for somebody's passion, you're gonna do what you need to do so that fire don't feel like it's wasted. We sit here and just do some stupid things when people want to be thankful. They want to show appreciation, and then we turn around and say, "Fuck y'all." Excuse my language. And you do this because I'm asking you to do. No, we do. You do. You They give because they feel like you on the right path. You doing the right thing, so they're going to donate to you. Stop making people feel like they have to. They don't have to do nothing. They don't even have to
Yeah,
be on your channel right now. That's
bro.
that bullshit. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, bro. Man, I'm happy I wasn't on YouTube when I was younger, bro. Because I was a smart ass mom. I would have heard this shit when I was younger. I'd be like, man, you ain't shaking no ass and nothing. Fucking my pay you for do some tricks. And you see you tie a cherry, him with your tongue or something. Fuck you, my pants. I would have been going off and these dudes begging for money. Like, you weak, some of them bitches. Begging and pleading for something that you ain't earned. Like, come on now. So that's why I say I just feel different about both ways. About the men and the way men do it. I feel different, but that shit bad for both. I ain't gonna say it's worse for either. It's bad for both. Nobody should be doing that shit.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. But that's what I'm saying. Like we just sitting back and just watching this, right? I mean, I thank goodness, I thank God that I'm not that weak person to where that can traumatize me. But you can understand why some people get traumatized by sitting there and just watching these people feel like they can demand you to do something that they ain't earned and they ain't worthy of.
Yeah.
That's that's like super crazy. But like I said, I can see why people get traumatized by doing that. Because a lot of people, if
Well,
we being honest and real, some people can't overcome that situation. Like, I can't believe I sat there and watched this man or this woman demand you. I'm going to. I need you to super chat me or whatever it is. Like, what's wrong with y'all people? If you here to do something, that's what you're supposed to do. Supposed to do it for whatever reason. Now, people come on here to entertain. That don't mean you a good entertainer if the people don't donate to your channel. You might not be working right now. You might not be worth it. So you gotta do what you need to do. If you doing what you're supposed to do, everything take care of itself. But you traumatizing people, that's the worst kind of experience that anybody will ever have to go through. I hate it.
now I'm gonna say this too because we was just talking about like fundraisers and stuff. I'm talking about the people who just beg, right? It's some people on here they got little aspects of their show that people donate if they want this to happen, if they want that. That's you're getting something. You know what I'm saying in return. So I'm not talking about like that. I'm talking about the people who just be like, like, what's my fault, girl? Nope. I told you to go outside earlier. You ain't want to go with me. Go now. No, nope. Leave me alone. Go where your mama at. Go to your mama. Don't come over here by me now. Now you want to pay attention to me. Go on. Told her to come outside with me, and she stayed. She went in the room and laid with my wife. Like, all right. And now she want to come over by me. Nope. I don't want none of your love.
I
Go.
know, love.
That's my ninja, man. I love my dog. I see her like she human, bro. Now you will ignore me, I'm
I
ignore
know.
your ass. Now, think you gonna come around and just get some love and attention when you feel like, I told you to help my blind ass outside. There's raccoons and shit out there. And you want to just sit in the house and chill. Nope. Leave me alone. I, I'm petty with my dog, bro. I swear I am. I'm petty with the animals, bro. I don't even care, bro. My pet is petty with love. I'm being petty with love. I love you,
Listen,
but I'm
there ain't
still
no.
petty.
We ain't gonna have that conversation. No, Nola being traumatized by your pettiness. Stop this,
I'm
man.
petty with love
Nola, don't
attached.
listen,
No,
Nola.
petty
You
love.
the best. I don't care,
Yeah,
Nola.
she's
You the
best.
best. I ain't even seen you
Best to
yet.
be.
You the best.
Mm. Bet you if I go out next time, I bet you her ass no. I forgot what I was talking about before I get petty with my dog. But yeah,
Fundraising.
I ain't talking about the people. They get different aspects of their show where you donate to, where you get different things happening and shit. It's like you pay. It's a function within the show, so you actually getting something for it. I'm talking about the people who just expect shit because they go live, they supposed to get donations and shit. And you ain't offering nothing. Like it's nothing. Even if I was like, if I created something on here like, donate $5 and I give you a coaching session or some shit like that, then that, people, whatever you donate for, I break this down or I break that down. You getting something for your donation. And then there's just some people who donate like I don't ask for it. They might be doing a fundraiser for their show. I don't see people on here, and I don't be hating. I don't donate to dudes like I need a new mic. Say okay, here you go. I come listen to the show, so there you go. I donate towards the mic. So people who do that, who honest with the shit, like I don't see nothing wrong with that. But it'd be people on here like I've been on here for an hour, ain't nobody donating. What the fuck we donating for? Say, man, I don't know. King Blackout, what up though, my guy? What up, Nine? I think
King
he over in
Blackout, what's
Rick's
going
chat.
on with
Oh, the computer, I don't see him on
yeah,
in
it's
Rick's
just
chat.
but it's just crazy though. That's what I'm saying. Like you go through so many different situations and not even understanding what you're actually putting out here, right? Like the things that we put out here, right? You want to leave you want to leave something, you want to leave something memorable, but not traumatizing, right? Like those type of situations where I've been up here for an hour and just using your example and nobody, man, I'll end the show before I've done lives where I was the only one in the live for about a whole hour. I wouldn't even care, right? Because I think I'm doing something constructive. If you doing something constructive, it'll all work itself out. You don't get the pressure people by doing what you do and expecting something out of it at that particular time. Sometimes the best things come to those who wait. But when you traumatize or you forcing people to do things that they ain't ready to do, there's nothing good that comes out of that ever.
They go bullies.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I get ADHD. If I'm up here for more than 30 minutes and ain't nobody interacting with me, it's very rarely I stay on here. Like, if ain't nobody up here talking to me or ain't nobody in the chat, I'll be like, whoops, said what I had to say to you. And I'll be out. The realest one is in the building. What up, though?
Realist was good. Yeah, but that happens a lot too. But sometimes like I said, when you doing this on here, it's more like sometimes you do it to educate. Some people educate. Some people's passion is something out of the clear blue. Like I said, Rachel, she's been very passionate about the situation in Philadelphia. So it's like, yo, no, she really gets passionate because it affects her, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yet at the same time, you can't, she can't be, worried about, what the other people talking about because it's affecting her. So as long as she understands she's doing what she's doing, and nobody's sitting there trying to distract her or take away from her message, that's a good thing. But you got a lot of people doing a lot of nonsense, even when you having that passionate conversation, just to throw you off and to stop your momentum or whatever the case, and that could be traumatizing too. This is why you got to have discernment and see who's doing what, when, where, and why, so that way you don't let it stop your momentum, because that could be traumatizing too if somebody's trying to keep interrupting you or keep you from making your point, taking away from your passion and all of that. Those are the things that we have to look out for too when we doing this on here.
And shout out to King Blackout, been a member for 4 months, man.
Too many people out there just living in the moment. And that's the downfall is
Try again. Try again. Try again.
Looking for progression. Exactly.
Shout out to the king, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah,
Appreciate you.
shout out to King Blackout. Right, and that's what we talking about. This is the opposite of someone being traumatized, right? They see the work that's being put forth. They appreciate it so much. They feel like they want to contribute, not they need to. You forcing them, nothing to that extent. They feel that passion that you have for what you're doing, so they decide out the kindness of their heart they're going to contribute, however way they contribute, right? Like for me, it's the greatest appreciation is somebody sharing what I'm talking about, right? Because at the end of the day, it's like, okay, y'all think I'm trying, my words can help somebody get to through a situation. So I appreciate the shares. Anything else is extra, but it's nothing forced. If you gotta force it, it's not authentic. And if it's not authentic, a lot of the time, like I'm, consistently saying, that could be traumatizing. So we have to be careful of how we are affecting people, whether we recognize it or not. It doesn't matter. We can't trump nobody's feelings. If somebody feel like you forcing them to do something, you could be harming them more than helping them. That's another way to look at it.
And shout out to Frankie Blanco, Texo, 755, Sandra, and Blue Lotus. I just 55 memberships and actually received. Shout out to y'all, man. I'm about to do some more with the memberships, bro. I'm about to get back on here. Um, I had finished the chakra. Somebody paid for that. They reminded me. Yeah, so I got finished that. I only got 2 more chakras to go through, and then we got a whole nother chakra series coming after that. So yeah, we're gonna get back more into the information. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this though, because trauma is different for everybody. So there's different ways people heal from it. So I don't think you told us how you heal from trauma, Gary. Like, what are some of the methods you use?
I think, well, I'm different, right? Because I think, well, I'll speak for my personal trauma, right? Ever since, as a teenager when I lost my parents, right? I just decided to, help other people, right? Like, you go to the after school program, you help kids with their homework, or you start playing, sports and activities with them, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, whatever, right? For me, that's how I escape the trauma. Because if I can help somebody get away from their situation, it helps me to get away from mine. Some people might say that's the wrong way to do it. I'm saying it's right for me because if I see that child, not worrying about what they have to go through in their life, I can it strengthened me to say, as long as I keep doing what I need to do, I could push my trauma away the same way I'm helping that person or that child in this case get away from theirs. And so for me just contributing to someone else's situation as far as them being getting away from their sad times, their doom and glooms and all of that, I think that's the best way for me. That's one of the ways for me, not the best way. That's one of the ways for me to heal from my trauma because I get to push it to the side and not have to dwell on it, you know, all the time because I'm sitting with somebody else going through something because I'm not isolating myself away from people to dwell on my trauma. So if I help somebody else, you know, it helps me get through that. That's like when your terminology, a better you is a better us, right? If I put that into perspective, right? If I can help you get through yours, you helping me get through mine at the same time. So it's the same philosophy, but it's just in a traumatic form. If I can help you through your trauma, you're helping me through my trauma. You may not even know that, but that's how I view it. That's how I get away from my trauma.
And at the beginning of the conversation, that's what I was talking about. Like, you know, different people do it different ways. So, one of the key things I heard you say though is gate. And when you went into greater detail, or you delineated on it, made it clarified your meaning when you say it, when you use the term escape. I think it kind of fit well, and that's one of them things where I'm not gonna say like burying it, but replacing it. I think that would be a better term. Like, I can replace this pain that I'm feeling by helping someone else, and now I'm getting joy because I'm being of use or being beneficial to someone else. Now that makes me feel good about my situation. And the reason I use like burying it, because it's not like you're really attacking a problem, but you're occupying your time with something else. So even when people do that, I always tell them be careful, because that's how triggers get developed too. Like when we uh, preoccupy our time, because it's still there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's still there, but that's a great strategy, and it helps a lot of people by doing that. And as long as I mean, I know people who, you know, they that's how they live, so they never really get triggered. But it's just a possibility you can be triggered because it's still there. But sometimes people just bury it into the subconscious, where as long as they don't put themselves around things that trigger them, they never bother.
Do you think that's like a minimization type? I would say it's minimizing, right? Because you're not really attacking the problem. You're more minimizing it to where it's not a
Yeah.
maximum situation. It's not a like it doesn't. It's not a maximum. Soon as somebody say, "Well, this, and this," it triggers you. You did so much to minimize it to where it's not the greatest of triggers, to where somebody's just, how you step on somebody's shoe and that might trigger somebody. I could say, well, you stepped on my shoe. I don't worry about it. I got it, because you're not triggered by it anymore. It's so minute to you now that it's not that once before it would have somebody would have did that, you might have punched them in their face. Now that
And then,
you minimize that situation, it's not that triggering anymore. So I would say minimize. For me, it minimized it. I'm not trying to bury it, because at the end of the day, that particular trauma, I don't think I would ever get over. But I could minimize it because of the way I'm going about it. If I see more joy around me, I don't have to dwell like, dang, mom gone, or whatever the case may be, because there's nothing to replace that trauma. But if you minimize it, it won't be in the front of your mind. It'll be, somewhere. It'll be there, but it won't be like the first thing you think. No, man, I lost my mom, to where you're depressed, or you so depressed that you might want to harm yourself, or whatever the case may be. That's that real trauma that people, they don't really get over, because they don't know how to, you know escape, not escape it, but minimize it. You know what I mean? So that's what works for me.
but escaping is minimal. When you escape, it becomes minimal. So, I mean, all those words, even bury, all of those words can work together, because even when you bury something, now it's minimized. Like you said, it's not there. Not that it's ever going to be gone, because even if it's buried, it's still there. You know what I'm saying? So that's just, I think, but I want people to think about triggers like this too, because not going into detail how it was, about a client, but when we think about triggers, we always thinking like something bad. But when sometimes when people get triggered, that trigger actually puts them into action. It triggers them to do so. A trigger is just a mechanism, right? So when we talk about triggers, a lot of times we associate it to something negative. But a lot of times, like you can be triggered and it can put you in position to do something beneficial for yourself. So say if you trigger, you might look for someone to help, or you might be more proactive about helping someone because you're triggered. That's what the trigger did. It sprung you into action. So
Right, right.
even even identifying that aspect, because I had to see that within myself. Like it'd be sometimes where I'm just so gun ho about something, and then I had to realize it's because I was triggered. It made me more proactive, looking for people to help, or feeling a deeper desire to help someone. Especially like when I was doing like health insurance. Like when I used to see elderly people that people didn't help, or their families kind of abandoned them, it triggered me. So I started working extra harder for these people. Weren't even making no money. Sometimes it wasn't even about it. What a lot of times it wasn't even about me making money. It was just about taking care of the issue that they needed taken care of. So sometimes I went out of bounds of what my job description said because I had a hookup or I knew somebody. I help people get like better and a better. This one guy, I was signing him up for life insurance. I couldn't help him, but I got him in a better what do they call them? Retirement. It wasn't a retirement home. It's more like a um, minimum assistant living. Like that people come in and check on them, but they don't live with them. I got him in a better home. And nothing to do with what
Okay,
I
yeah,
didn't get
yeah,
paid
yeah.
for.
It's like a not a senior home, but a retirement home.
It's yeah, it's like a minimum assistance home. Like they got people to come and check on them, but they got staff there, but they live by themselves. They do everything by themselves. But they do keep like a person on call, like a nurse and a tech, just in case something happens. I don't know if they got them everywhere. I just know four different ones, and the one I just know people who run them. I know two people who run, and I help them get into a home, so a better living situation. They went from this high rise apartment to more of a, I think it was like 3 4 apartment, where it's less people, but so the people can actually help them more.
Mm,
Staff more pleasant. They get paid more. It's in a nicer area. He was in the city. I got him out to the suburbs. So it was just a whole
mm.
different environment. And he still send me, up to this day, he still send me a Christmas card and a birthday card. It was like 5 years ago, bro. And he still, I got a birthday card this year from him. I'm like, damn, bro. He still, and he ended up getting life insurance. Where I got him at, it is more better financially. He got more money, man. He was like, damn, I didn't know. He was like, I ain't had nobody helping me, so I just took the first thing and came. But he was like, I didn't know I have options. Like, yeah, man. I just knew some people though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's the opposite of being trauma. You so appreciative to the assistance that you get, right? Knowing good and well nobody else would have put that effort towards that individual. You like, yo, I can't believe this has really happened to me, right? You got him in a better situation. So instead of him being, well, he's appreciative. He's not traumatized because you did something constructive, and not it's nothing that hinders his negative concept, but it just added to a positive one. So that's the appreciation. That's what we should all be trying to do, that even if somebody's going through a traumatic situation. Just like I said, sometimes just sitting there being attentive could help that person to start the process of getting them from that traumatic scenario, that traumatic thought. But it's all up to you if you're going to be, patient in doing that. And as well as the individual, he has to be willing to, or they have to be willing to, allow the process to begin, let alone occur.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you can't help people who don't want to be helped. But, you'll find the people who do, and just help them, man. You do as much as you can. That's just how I live life, man. If I can help you, I can help you. But if I can't, I ain't gonna hurt you neither. I try to walk
Yeah,
away from situations, because life's too short, bro. We're here for a blip of the moment. So why not
and that's
enjoy
what
it?
I'm noticing every day, and that's what I'm telling people every
Hmm.
day. Like if you really sit back and just be attentive to what's going on, you see this person, they going through a thing. I found out somebody who's not even in their 40s is and I like they grew up with my little brother. That person's in hospice. I'm like, wait, he's not even 40 yet, and he's in hospice. You know, that's like that for most
Blip of
people,
a
that's
moment, man.
unheard of. Right.
Yeah.
It's like, but you gotta be there for the end. You gotta be there for his mom. You gotta be there for his kid. You gotta, you doing things, but you still looking at it like, yo, that's crazy because people think they got the answer to how to overcome this illness, how to just be attentive. But now you don't really understand how your actions may affect other people and it could traumatize them. You understand? Like I'm looking at his mom like, most moms is gonna say, well, my child is supposed to bury me. So now that young lady has to go through a situation. I don't know what I hope that's not gonna happen. And she's going through a traumatic situation now. And a lot of the time, all you can do is just be there, hey ma, you good, or whatever the case may be. Knowing you because a lot of the time when they're going through that traumatic stage, there's nothing you can really say to snap them out of it because they're going through it at present time, like in real life time. So it's like, yo, you just don't know how to get them through it. But your presence may be just a little piece of the pie to get them, just for them not to go through it alone. I guess that's the best way of saying it.
And that take me back to when my cousin died in Pennsylvania, and we went down there. And after the funeral, everybody's sitting there eating, and all like the first and second cousins. I'm telling them, everybody talk about what they about to do, and I'm sitting there looking at them like everybody on their phone and shit. I'm like, man, I said it's sad that we think about tomorrow so much we forget to appreciate today. And when I said that, man, everybody piled up into my auntie house, bro. We was just chilling for like 3, 4 hours. Shit, we don't get to see each other all the time. People came from everywhere. Then after that, we went over to my cousin's house and piled up in his house. Everybody staying the night, people sleeping on top of people. And when we woke up the next day, everybody was like going home the next day. And it was like, man, we're happy we did this versus it was some people going to meet some people at a bar. And they was like, man, I'm happy you said that, bro. We really get to appreciate today. It's something I'll never forget. I'm like, yeah, I'm just happy y'all heard me. Like I said, we be thinking about tomorrow too much sometimes. We forget to appreciate today, the right now. I was to say the present is the most important time someone can appreciate or be in, bro. And we forget that, man. Thinking about the past,
Yeah, we
future
do.
too much.
Yeah, we
And
do.
I
And I
don't
was
know,
just
man.
telling,
Maybe it's my kids that gave me that revelation, bro. Because I used to be like that, and now I'm just like I'm appreciating every second, every fucking second. If I'm yelling, screaming,
man,
chasing them around the house, whatever I'm doing, I'm appreciating.
even when you get to the time of not being frustrated, but sometimes it could just be a little bit too much. But you catch yourself like, you know what? I'm still watching them go through the stages of them elevating and growing up. So I gotta catch myself. I may not have I had that lapse of patience, but I'm appreciating it because I get to view this. You know what I mean? Because there's people that don't get that experience, right? It can get to the point where somebody will be jealous of you because you getting the experience that they can't as a dad, or in a woman's case that a working mom can't do, but the stay-at-home mom get the experience. You see what I'm saying? So it allows you to appreciate things. This is why I tell people I'm not going to no funeral. You want to know why I'm not going to the funeral? Because we should have met before this even occurred. I don't want to remember how they were. Let's make a moment now. Let's make a moment today. Let's make a moment this second, so I don't have to, remember when. I could say, yo, we just made a moment. But because we so stuck in the ways of the world, we gotta make this money first, keep a roof over our head. We forget to live life. Every 24 hours a day is not to till the ground, not to, work to make ends meet. Some of the times you need that social life, not even social, but you need that adult time, for the stay-at-home parent. They need the adult time to where they got to step away from just step outside and have a moment with an adult, whether it's a conversation or something, whatever it is that you don't get what you spend with the kids. We all need those type of moments, but a lot of the times we don't get to do it because we stuck in that momentary situation, whether it's working or whether it's taking care of an elder or whatever the situation is. We have to take time to ourselves, because the more we don't get to enjoy it, that too can lead to a traumatizing situation. Whether we understand that or not, we need to pay attention to it.
755, what up, sis? Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I'm happy you got it. I'm happy you got it. Oh shit, bring your butt over here and hit the link, man. We're talking about how to heal. It'd be good to hear from another life coach. Plus, I ain't seen you on live for a minute. Bring your butt over here and hit the link for a minute. I don't care if you got 3, 4, 5 minutes. You can escape from whatever you're doing. Come holler at us. Shout out to Ocean, man. Make sure y'all go grab her link, man. It's the life coach. She be talking about life, so definitely check her out. I gotta finish that series, man. I've been into these little Asian shows, so but I gotta finish that series, and that was dope. I want to interview you one day. I gotta link up. I want to interview Osha one day. I want to start doing interviews. I'm gonna start doing a little something something over here. Asha, like Kasha without the T. Well, I will come up here and say it to my ear. Asha. I'm just talking crap, too. But yeah, we would appreciate if you come hit the link real quick. I just want to ask you, what are some healing methods, people can use? Brother Gary told me some. I shared how I healed. But I know, like, working with people, um, especially like this last 2 months, understanding what people are capable of doing. It's just interesting how diverse it is when it comes to how people heal. I just found that interesting. Um, so I wanted to talk about that because I had some very interesting clients these last 2 months, and just seeing the results, um, it was just intriguing to me how different. Well, I understand how different people are, but how unique they are. Um, I think the more I help people, the more I comprehend that aspect of life, how unique the individual person is, how something may work for me, but it may not work for them, and vice versa. And just learning more in depth about uh, how people are is it just made me more compassionate to the individual experiences that people have in life. It just made me more compassionate to it. So, um, yeah, man. Rach, I don't think you share how you heal. What's some of the things you did to heal?
Rachel sleeps.
Rach, you sleep.
Rachel sleeps.
I'm not asleep. I'm dealing with a whole bunch of teenagers and an 8-year-old here, making my living room a mess. They
Oh,
just all
that's a
came
house
down to
full.
eat up lunch. Got some fatbacks.
I feel bad now. I did call it OSHA like the that's what we had at the hospital. Some OSHA laws and rules. And OSHA. See, that's what happened when you think when you've been gone for a minute. Don't blame it on my heart, blame it on my brain. I got a straw in my head and sucking information up sometimes. I think it's because I'm super exhausted, but I don't see. Oh, that's you on Rachel's page. I don't think Rachel get the link posted. You're not on mine.
She not on my link. She on my
You
page?
know, Yeah, she on somebody page because I see
She on
the.
your page.
I don't see her on my phone. I see her on
Yeah,
the.
she on your page.
Listen,
Wait,
she
she not
on.
on
You
my.
got 3 pages up, so she on your
Wait, who
She
page
Facebook.
might be
you
on
on?
mine. Too. She
Are
Oh,
might be
she
you
on
on
mine.
Gary page.
you on Gary's page?
ARD. Yee.
If she on Gary
Riaz,
page,
what's
Yee.
Gary
happening,
gotta drop
Riaz?
the
Oh snap!
link. Gary, if she
Can you
on your
hear me?
page, you gotta drop the link.
I gotta
Like, can you
find
hear
the
me
link.
now?
It's pinned. It's pinned on Words Live.
Let me see. I can drop it over. Give me a minute.
Hey, big
Well,
bust
RD
down. What it is,
on
what
the
it ain't.
main.
Think about still stink. You did. Big Rider. Good to see you. Love one. Yes, sir.
Cousins.
Blessings. Hey, the word. Long time no see, but I
Oh,
love it though.
I was about to say where you been, bro.
Man, you already know.
Mhm.
Yes, sir, Ski.
I dropped it, Gary. Gary, I dropped it over on your page.
Wait, where Gary go? Hold on, wait a
Okay,
minute.
okay, Asha, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to link up with you and one day we do an interview or just a conversation. It don't even have to be an interview. Just get you up on a panel and have a conversation. 'Cause
Yeah, I
she got a
think
dope
that'll be
panel over
cool.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like her channel over there. She
yeah.
got a dope panel, dope content. Very interesting person, man. And I just be trying to connect and link up with people. I think that'd be dope.
Yes, sir, Ski.
Well, Riaz, yeah, but
Yeah.
ARD, what it do, man? I ain't seen you in a minute, bro. Hope everything been good with the fam.
Man, we been over here doing what we do, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, in a beautiful way. We were just at Little Yosemite literally yesterday. It's pretty cool. Yeah. And when we talk about trauma from a man perspective, a woman perspective, or a partner perspective, Jesus, man. Even the family perspective, right? Man, there's so much that come with it. It's crazy. You know, I can't even lie to you. It's crazy, you know. And I didn't realize how much trauma that I had, you know. Let me be vulnerable. I was like, damn, I got that trauma. I thought I was over that shit. Nah, like you get to see it in other people, and then it comes to something if you ain't really handle it, right? And I was just like, man, that shit is crazy, you know. And then I got to really figure out, okay, who is ARD? You dig? And I got to realize more and more with my kids and my wife and everything. And I think that trauma really come out, like if you ain't handle it the right way, it come out. And even if you did, sometimes the ego of it is trying to protect other people, right? So I'm just like, yo, that's crazy. Because like what Bust Down said about, you know, looking at it from different perspectives, I was like, man, that's crazy. I just went through that when I traveled and I was just like, yo, like, you know, I'm trying to build a system, ecosystem with other people. And I didn't realize they were being abused, right? I didn't come from a house of abuse like that, right? But I was visible to people being abused, and my dad and my mom had to help people being abused. And I kind of got that trauma from them, you know, into our home, even though we weren't abused. And I got to see people being abused, bro. I was just like, yo, like, bro, this shit ain't about to happen on my watch. Until I had to realize, yo, like, just step out of it or do what you can without being seen. And that's what I always do. So when I think about the trauma and stuff, it's not just in your own household or your own life. Sometimes you can see trauma and you become traumatized too, or have some type of
Mm-hmm.
PTSD. You feel me? Yeah.
Hmm.
I'll stop there because I know I said a lot just popping up. Am I making sense and can you hear me?
But no, you making sense. You know, trauma is a simple word, but it has complex meaning. You know, it's a simple word, but it's complex because there's so many variables involved when it comes to trauma. So it's not as simple as it sounds. You know, even to get over trauma, to heal from trauma, to overcome trauma, it's not as simple as it sounds. It's a process, and sometimes that process may be you may be processing that through a lifetime. You know, depending on where you at in life and what tools you have to combat the trauma. And it's something that is not no one's omitted to it. Everyone will face it in some shape or form in life. You know, like you say, you may not even have to physically experience something, and you can still be traumatized from it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. When
To
you see
watch somebody
some
lose
real
their
human
life,
being go through that, like when they show you, like their reaction to you, that's how I would categorize it as. Or
bro.
like their
You can
reaction makes you traumatized off of the like, what the hell? You know, excuse me. Like, what the heck they go like what? Hey,
like
nah,
I've
nah.
been
I don't know what it is, but hey, you did come over
like,
here. You did come over here. We good. All right. We're gonna see what it is. You never
but
want to get
even
in
they,
somebody's situation, but it's like, nah, come
th-
over here. Hey, we got you. All right. We're gonna see what it is. If it gotta be that, right? But that's traumatizing too, right? Yeah. Am I making sense?
yeah, because like I use myself for instance. I didn't know how traumatized I was when I seen multiple people get unalive, like right in front of me, and I was desensitized from it. Like I kind of buried it, but I didn't know how traumatized I was from like the effects that it had on me until later. But I didn't experience it like getting unalive or being in immediate danger, but I seen it happen to other people. So
Wow.
a lot of
Yeah.
times, just I mean, even watching, I know people who are traumatized from watching something on a movie or TV. They gave them PTSD from physically watching something they knew that was a source of entertainment. It traumatized them.
So you just mentioned two different things, but it's the same thing, right? Entertainment and real life. And now real life and entertainment are almost synonymous, right? Because
Mhm.
people don't go outside no more. People don't know their neighbors anymore. So when we think about trauma in this 2025 world and beyond, man, we got to understand a few things. But I mean, there's so many things to unpack with that, right? Because people are traumatized just off the what the news said, even though they was lying, and then they come with a redaction, right? Later on, you know, and then when you actually see real people in real life, no longer, that's a whole nother thing. I recall in my world, I was responsible for after you know so many people were laid off. I was hired to do a role of laying off a few hundred people, right? Whatever. And I was like, that's not my role. Whatever. I don't pay. I'm not paid for that. That's not what I'm like about. And long story short, I ended up knowing a lot of these people. So I paid them out of my pocket for the next 6 months. But I still had to lay them off because that's what corporate told me to do. Look,
Mm.
I told them, give me a severance because I'm out of here. I laid them off. They didn't know that I gave them something out of my own pocket, right? For a few, like, I made sure everybody was good. And they ain't know that to a certain extent. And then next thing you know, I got everybody like, hey, ARD, like, hey, I got this skill, I got that skill, I got this, woo, 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 woo. And we don't even talk about that type of stuff. But the trauma of that was just like, bro, these people will play with you however you want to. They want to, people will play with you, man, if you don't really know a source of a source of the highest. You know, they'll play with you. And for me, I thought that was pretty crazy because I was like, man, y'all really trying me. And on top of that, my relationship with people before that was crazy. But a lot of people thought it was the end all be all. They ain't know no other way, you know? And I was like, man, we good. Here we go. Boom, boom. Hey, here's this opportunity. Hey, here's this opportunity. And when I think about trauma, trauma is a heavy thing, but there's a way to like coexist with it without letting it take you over. You know, similar to what Bust Down was saying. You know, there's a way to coexist with it without letting it take you over. It can go away if you choose to let it go away, or it can be the same vendetta that you want to get back from. Right? It just depends on your mindset. Am I making sense?
So
I think
you,
if it
you make
goes
sense,
away,
and that's why at the beginning of the conversation, I was saying, "What up, man? I'm about to let you rock out right after this. Let me just say this to you. I don't believe, bro. Or maybe you weren't here at the beginning of the conversation, man. But at the beginning, that's what I was saying. Like, there's levels to it, and different things will work for different people, and people process things differently. So, I definitely understand what you're saying. I definitely understand. Eric like what may traumatize me may not traumatize other people, and vice versa. That's just life. That's is based on an individual experience. Um, how people process it, go through it, if they can overcome it or if they can't. Some I've known people, who couldn't overcome their traumas, no matter what you did, no matter drugs, count, none of that. It's all about the individual experience. What up, Mel?
hi, yeah, I have a lot of personal experience with trauma and overcoming it personally, and it coming around in unexpected ways. Yeah, I think that the the easiest way to put this is that none of this is simple, and I know that's kind of frustrating, but it varies a lot per person, and it varies a lot with complexity. One of the interesting things is going back to what you were saying with like the media and not telling the difference between reality and fiction. It turns out most people do. Um, in fact, like when you're watching like a movie or something like that, you don't run away from it because you know that what's on the screen isn't actually going to jump out and attack you or whatever. And so there's a degree to which, yes, it puts you in a different mental state, and that has impacts on us when we're just doing that all the time. But I think that comes more to capitalism kind of draining us. Trauma is a stress response. There's acute forms of trauma and chronic forms of trauma. Acute means it happens very sharply, suddenly, and strongly. Chronic means it can be more moderate levels, but it happens over a long time and it's unrelenting. And people can come away from acute trauma a lot more easily than chronic trauma, because with chronic trauma, the brain literally learns to be stressed all the time, which is not a normal state for the brain to be in. Uh, I don't know how many of you know about equilibrium and stuff, but if you do, or balances. It's just our brain is not meant to always be in trauma. So when we do have trauma, it's basically telling our brain that we can't relax after the threat is gone. That when it's reemergent, like with PTSD, and you get re-traumatized, that's because your brain has learned that something that isn't normally a threat should be, and it's typically more severe than anxiety because you'll get something like flashbacks and stuff. Now, that's what I mean when I said my trauma has ended up being complicated. I've gotten rid of pretty much most acute traumas. There are certain situations I just don't like being in, but that's at this point I'd say it's more of a personal preference than the trauma itself controlling me. But it has come back as kind of like an agoraphobia and claustrophobia, generalized anxiety that is a little bit more difficult to deal with. And so I don't think I think it's important to have uh, good takeaways from this that don't mislead people about how this works. And one of the things is like you can't just, it's not mind over matter. when you actually are traumatized. It's an entire neurophysiological change that that when it's bad enough acts like a feedback loop, and simple thoughts alone aren't powerful enough to just stop that. Now, could you make it worse by dwelling on it and being like, I'm traumatized, I'm gonna act like I'm traumatized and do traumatized person things? Yeah, but in terms of how much you could minimize those kind of I don't want to say side effects or symptoms, but the issues that being traumatized can cause. I think there's only so much anybody can do, especially right after. It's something that can only get better with time as well. So it's not all doom and gloom either. But I've noticed in like psychotherapy, there's just not a good framework for how to deal with that. It's kind of just taken like, okay, well, let's do some therapies and kind of see what works, which I get that they're doing the best that they can, but they don't test how you're traumatized, what your trauma responses are. They don't seem to care. Like when I say like, I'm going about, they're like, what are your triggers? I'm like, it's being out. That's my trigger. It's feeling like I'm around people when I don't want to be. And they're like, so it's not like anything people do or anything. It's like, no. And I think most therapists come into this with their own kind of like framework of what stress looks like and what trauma looks like. And so when you don't fit that, you don't get help from them. And that's a big problem with how we're trying to treat this right now, is that there's not a good understanding of stress, both as like being neurophysiological, as people like Dr. Gabor Mate talk about, but also as it being this thing that you really have to get to know someone on an individual basis to figure out how to help them with their trauma.
You know what I found out in the medical field is there's so many variables involved with how people help people, and I just found it like it's finding a good doctor, a therapist, counselor, coach is like finding a good restaurant. You just gotta try until you find a good one. Because like especially in the medical field, people be more like when they fresher or newer to the field, they're more enthusiastic about helping people, and the longer you stay in it, the more wear on you personally. And I just think that's when efforts dwindle down. Like
Yeah.
the effort people put into it tends to dwindle down because, especially when it comes to mental health, the professionals need professionals. Dealing with other people's problems, that's my opinion, is one of the hardest things to do in life is to help people solve their own problems. Help people solve their problems while you trying to solve your own. You know, and it takes special people to do that. It really do.
Actually,
It takes
funnily enough,
special people to do.
there are
Oh, go ahead.
specialists who specialize in like being therapists for therapists, for
For
example.
therapists, yeah, I
Yeah.
got two friends that they one of them, the other one actually left the field.
I
Uh,
think in that domain they call it like professional consulting or something like that though.
yeah,
Just to, remove it from them being one of the clientele. Because I feel like there's a bit of elitism that's unspoken. Not, I don't know how detrimental it is, but it might be getting worse with like, and this is going into philosophical stuff that most people aren't aware of. But if you want to get more insight on this, Achille Mbembe's Necropolitics, which comes out of Michael Foucault's Biopolitics, I think explains how we're starting to see this divide with like healthcare, even here in Canada, where, like, just for example, I've seen paramedics, and I don't know what experience they've had with this guy, but they were just like, the guy went into the washroom, and then like I was in the room outside, and they're just like totally making fun of him. I'm like, you pieces of shit, like he needs your help. Like, don't make fun of him for needing your help. And that was just I was more upset by the idea that of like paramedics or doctors looking down on the people that they're helping, because I don't think you can help somebody actually when you do that. I, it like that's kind of also where I take issue with, and that's what like I'm admitting here. It's not always wrong to have this mentality, but when that's like your default to think that like people need to help themselves, that's almost like then you're removing all the people who actually don't have control. People like me who have fought really hard to make sure that I can be as in control of what I can be and eliminate everything that is mind over matter. And I'm still left with a lot of shit to deal with that's even more complicated now, because if anything, the stuff before would have been easy for a therapist to deal with. But it is better that I feel more in control in that way, because I feel like I'll almost never regress. But at the same time, this stuff that I can't just do myself, like I do need external help from this. Like I need somebody to help me figure out what to do, and not just do that, but help me actually apply those things, because in a sense, I know what to do, but it's easier said than done.
And Mel, this is one of the things that was hard for me to accept in my 15-year tenure working in the hospital is the reality is people are fucking people, man. No matter what profession they take, no matter how long they go to school, people, their nature is gonna be their nature no matter what they doing. So you gonna have good people, you have bad people. It fucked me up the first couple times, when I first got up to the OR. And I'm hearing these doctors talk about the patients, like they doing gastro life bans on patients. Like you see them interacting with the patient before the surgery. Oh, we're gonna take good care of you. Yeah, he's like, damn, this doctor cool as hell. Throws the patient to sleep. They talking shit. This fat motherfucker, we had cut to this fat stomach, put this sleeve go pop off. I'm like, what the fuck is going? I'm looking like I'm in shock because I was young. I was in my 20s, and I'm thinking like these people are people fatigued, right? Like these are the creme of our society. These are doctors. They dedicate their life to help. I got this whole idea of how these people are until I was around them, and I'm like, they some assholes, bro. I mean, and it's more than less. It's more than
Yeah,
less. Not
it's
not just
bad.
the doctors, the nurses, the techs, the people cleaning the floor. It's just human nature, man.
Well,
Because people, if they fucked up, they just fucked
I'll,
up. No matter what
I'll,
job, occupation, or whatever they doing, they just fucked up.
I'll give them some, not credit, but I can't put myself in the shoes of like, especially somebody who works at like like an old age home, where it's like I have no idea what kind of horrors they're put through, what kind of people they have to deal with. I've seen some crappy people in the ER that they've had to deal with, and I'm sure it's stressful, but I don't see how that could possibly ever help. I don't see how that relieves the stress. That's not a healthy way to socialize with people, in my opinion. And so, I'm not a doctor. I can't change the culture. I can't tell them how to be a doctor. But it would seem to me that like, even if you have those thoughts, just like keep them to yourself. Like
Mhm.
even
It-
if the person's under
it's-
the fucking gas, like it's just unprofessional.
that's what power do. You get something. I've watched doctors. They start off all sweet. As soon as they get a nice perceived position or get a promotion, then they asshole. So it's just a human factor.
I
That's incorporated.
I think there is truth to absolute power corrupts absolutely. Um, I don't think anyone can handle absolute power, no matter how virtuous they were, because it's not something we're capable of handling. Just by not by when I say design, I don't mean like intelligent design, but just by the way we are. And um, yeah, I feel like society, especially since like the 60s and 70s, has just gotten worse at like checking power and actually like questioning how different forms of power lead to like these kind of micro environments of like elitism, where it's like I think if you're a patient and you know that the doctor's essentially saying something not under their breath, but under your breath, because you're the one under the anesthesia, then you know, how can you trust them with your life? Like, that's ridiculous.
I guess my bad, my wife was giving me a list
Okay.
No
of
worries.
demands.
Wait, what? Mel, could you reiterate the part where you were saying that you don't. I think I heard you incorrectly about people needing the self help first, or people got to help themselves. Could you reiterate what you said again? Because I think I heard you incorrectly.
Me or the word?
I think you
You.
said that Mel has a strong standpoint of self help doesn't work.
Yeah, no, I think it helps a limited group of people and not the people who actually need help the most. Just to put it simply, it makes those people who do need real help invisible, especially when your default is to assume that everybody could theoretically help themselves if they just change their mental attitudes.
In much respect, but also coming out of from where I'm from right now, living here and really having boots on the ground, no PhD, no MS, no anything. If you don't know my background, I'm telling you in real life, it's not about assuming things. It's really about making sure that you touch the people and then level set with their parents and anything around them too, right? Because you don't know how you diagnose somebody until you really get to know where they came from. Period. And I
Actually,
love what you're saying. Hold
yeah,
on,
I
let
love
me
what you're
finish.
saying too.
Hold
No,
on, no,
I'm
no.
just
I'm
saying that I
still
love
I'm
it.
still
I'm
talking.
not trying
I'm
to cut you
talking.
off. I'm just
No,
saying I
no,
love
you
it.
can't
One at
cut
a
me
time.
off
One at a
because I just
time.
let you
One at a
talk for
time.
40 minutes. I
No,
just
you
let
did.
you
I
talk.
wasn't. That's all I
I
was saying is I
I
love
just
it
let you
too.
talk for 40
Okay, hold on,
minutes.
hold on.
I was just
Let
I
trying
him
to
just let you
finish.
talk
reciprocate the
for 40
compliment.
minutes.
I was just trying to return the compliment, bro. I
All
said I love
right,
what you're saying
cool.
too.
Save it
That's
for
all.
later. Save it for later.
Jesus.
Right? Thank you. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Save it for later. Let me finish. All right. Thank you. And with that, I think that there's two spectrums of the same coin, right? You have this side and you have that side. But the best side is the one that promotes not only family and foundation, but community as well, and empowering the people that needs to be empowered, especially our youth, regardless of where you are in this whole globe. And I love that, right? So let's diagnose how we get the positivity in this world compared to anything else. And on that note, I'm open to your positivity.
Yeah, yeah, and I wasn't meaning to cut you off. Just since you complimented me, I wanted to return the compliment because that I felt like that was the play thing to do. I'm very autistic, so that was probably my misread. Um, when it comes to the ways that we can positively diagnose this, I actually want to point something out. And it's like, if you're someone who's dealing with an autistic child, it doesn't like once if you've like dealt with them up until the age of 12 before their diagnosis, it doesn't. And assuming you're an open-minded parent who doesn't try to like force them to act a certain way, the diagnosis doesn't change much for you. It might give you some insights on how you can help them more, but like, you know, your child, it doesn't matter if they're autistic or not, because your child's characteristics are something you know intimately, in ways that words can't describe. They're ineffable. And I think like that's the power of a community that we're lacking in today's world, where, you know, like people, you know, they might say, like when I was growing up, they might say things like, oh, you have a one-track mind or whatever, but nobody treated me like I was ADHD. And it did at least get me to try to focus and concentrate, probably more than if I was just like, oh, I'm ADHD, I can't ever focus. And so that does exercise that a bit, although there has been research that shows that there can be quote unquote compounding errors that make it harder to focus later on, but that's a different thing. Um, and so yeah, I think like these labels do sort of short circuit the the communal and personal understanding of people with mental health issues, that actually if your community understood you and knew how to handle you when you're going through an episode or distress or whatever your mental health thing requires, they actually understood how to deal with that instead of just being like, oh my God, I can't, this person's crazy, which is kind of how the internet deals with things. Take Helen Keller, for example. A big reason she was so successful is because people tried really hard to give her the faculties of whatever was closest to communication and stuff like that, so she could actually learn to read and write and talk. And so my point is that it's a trade-off that we have to figure out, but I think that the bigger we scale our societies, the more the trade-off shifts in the bad direction of oversized things, where we need a community focus. And so the trade-off is always, one person's needs matter, but like the needs of many will always be a generalization and won't deal with the specifics. So how do we have a system that incorporates everybody while having communities that incorporate the needs of the individuals without making us into like hyper isolated, super commodified individuals?
But
And
wouldn't that
I love that. Oh, go ahead.
but wouldn't that generalization the generalization would be, it's not necessary, but it's like a go-to until you have an individualized situation. For example,
Right.
right? In order for you, to receive the help that you need, you must understand that you need the help, right? So in that aspect, you got to understand that if I need the help, then I'm going to want it. So until you internally understand what you need, that's when you would embrace the outside help. Until then, you won't be able to receive it, because if you don't know that you need it, how you expect to receive something that you don't think that you need? See, these are the things that we have to really take our time to understand
Right.
as we go forward. In a community, we can't embrace you until you embrace yourself and say, I am in need of whatever, right? I am in need for
Sort
you to
of.
be patient with me, because my sensor, my over sensation can take me to a place to where I'm not even sure that I understand. That's when the community could come in and embrace and observe what it is what that makes your sensory be overactive. Until then, we don't know how to approach a person, excuse me, that goes through an autistic over sensation. You see what I mean? But until you embrace it, that's because you were saying how a lot of the time of people that needs, you didn't like the fact that, well, I might be misquoting you, but when you were saying how you don't like the fact that some people got to help themselves, they have to help themselves first, because if they don't understand that they need the help, they won't even take the step to begin to heal themselves in the first place. So until you take that first step of healing, which means that you understand that you need the help, you're not going to embrace the external help until you internally understand that you need the help.
So you're sort of correct. First of all, my actual issue is with defaulting to the idea that everyone, it's always like a personal failing on their part. But again, I'm not. That's more paraphrased. I'm not even saying any of you necessarily said that, but I think it's like one step away from that kind of thinking. Going back to whether or not people need to make that choice individually, I think if they don't, that's actually not their personal failing. I think that's a failing of two things. A, believing, whether they're right or wrong, that there isn't help available for them. That's often the case. But also not having community supports, starting with the family and moving all the way up to all the people around them. We generally alienate people with addictions, and we don't make it our personal missions to help them unless it's like your job. And by making that a job, it again creates that barrier between clientele and person, when again this is a community level issue. So this should be something that we all take seriously and we all take as our own personal missions, not as like a profit motive or a wage. And so to kind of bring it all back, like if you look at interventions, I think a huge part of what actually gets people to get the help that is available to them, assuming that there is help available, is to have interventions and stuff like that. And likewise, if that, like, I'm assuming that this is a verbal autistic individual. In nonverbal situations, it's a lot more difficult, so I won't comment on that. But in verbal autistic situations, the community also has to be receptive to listening to what they have to do, instead of, again, defaulting to, no, this is your personal failing, no, you have to change.
And I mean, I understand what you're saying. I just like when it comes to, I guess is if you associate or put yourself in a certain community. Like over here, this is a 9% community. This is a self-help, community. People who need more than that, it ain't nothing I can really do for them,
Right. And I'm
So I
not
mean,
saying, just to be extra clear, I'm not saying you're wrong for trying to give people that help. I'm just commenting on kind of society's notion of defaulting to that, which is, I think maybe I misheard ARD, but it did sound like he was talking about all people, and that's just why I made the initial comments I made.
Oh no. Let me know what point that I made talking about people, because you were already speaking how you were speaking before I even said anything.
No, I was
so
watching
give
the
me one
stream
second.
before.
Hold on. Give me 1 second. Shout out to King Blackout. Appreciate you, bro.
Too many people out there just living in the moment. And that's the downfall is
Try again. Try again. Try again.
looking for progression. Exactly.
Looking for
Shout out to
protection
King
versus
Blackout.
progress. Shout out to King Blackout.
But
But yeah, sorry, just could I wrap up what
go
I was
ahead,
saying real
go
quick?
ahead, go ahead.
I,
Finish.
I, and I'm not meant to be. I'm trying to give constructive criticism. So if there is any constructive criticism, it would be the more that you understand about how stress really works and why it affects different people differently, the more you can actually help people with that stress and get them to think about it differently and stuff, and learn to listen for when they're actually unable to do that. Because sometimes you can feel like I felt pressured before by people who told me, just get over it and stuff. And then, you dedicate like months to trying to get over yourself and it doesn't work. And then you hate yourself. And so I'm not saying like you're at risk of doing that to people, but it is helpful when you can recognize these differences in people, even when they can't recognize it in themselves. And this is why I'm actually going to link you. This is a very long video, so I'm not asking you to play it. But if you want to watch it in your off time, it's a talk from a human behavioral biologist, is what I'll say. And he's also a professor at Stanford. The talk is called Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers, and he explains in very good detail why stress is not like the normal state of the body and why it affects people the way it does. There's also Gabor Mate, and I'll post one of his talks as well. But a lot of people seem to think like it's that grind set type thing, but I think we're being like misled by capitalism into being like worker bees when that's actually not our natural state to be like as stressed out as we are, is what I'm trying to get at. So you can help a lot of people by helping them realize that.
Fair. Yeah, but when you said my name about that, I'm curious to know, are we talking
Something you
about I
said.
made you stressed out? Right? No, you
No.
said what ARD said, right?
Yeah.
And then with that, am I stressing you out to be a worker bee or Alzheimer's or ulcers? Like, what do you mean? Because when I mentioned what I mentioned, I literally wanted to offer some help
Yeah,
because I didn't know, right? So I just want you to understand and respect that before you try to put my name in something when I was just offering help. So please offer
I,
some
I
clarity.
can't I can't quote it word for word, but to paraphrase it is that um, all people really just need to rethink their problems.
That's what you got from what I said.
I think so, yeah. But if I'm wrong, then forgive me, please.
Ah, no worries. Hey, this is
Yeah.
recorded, right? All right. No, I apologize if I did. That wasn't my intent.
And me as well. I'm sorry if I misheard you, because again, I just think that like the more you want to help people, the more you want to have these nuances in mind. Is all.
But my
I'm with
thing is,
Commander.
my
Actually,
thing is, go ahead, work, go ahead, work.
Shout out to Commander. I'm with Commander. What the fuck is going on?
Yes,
I'm
sir,
lost in this
Ski.
sauce.
You
I
did.
don't know. I don't know what.
I ain't,
I mean, from that
I ain't
from
lost
y'all
at
Big
all
turkey,
because
you
conversation, I'm like,
did.
I done missed everything y'all talking about right
Yo.
now. I mean,
nah, because
I'm
no,
But I
because
think when you
my
massage
point.
yourself in
Go
this,
ahead.
that's crazy.
Nah, because like I'm listening, and that's why I had Mel to reiterate what was said earlier, and I was hoping that I didn't catch it wrong because it's like we are talking about we're talking about people accepting help, right? So my question is this: what makes an intervention work?
usually people believing afterwards that they will receive the support of their family by going through the treatment.
No,
Yeah.
it can't be.
No.
The intervention works because they come to the understanding that what is being said is being received by the individual. In other words, they understand that they need the help. Until they understand that they need the help, that's their first step of helping themselves. If they don't accept that they're trying to help themselves, it doesn't matter if the intervention is even being presented, because if they don't believe they need it, they're going to ignore it. So if
Come
they're
on,
going
man.
to ignore it, everybody will be wasting their time. So that's why I asked
Not
you to
even wasting
reiterate.
your time, but it's like, what do we need for help? And on top of that, let's be honest, right? It was one thing to say you needed help for somebody else, and then you started saying help for yourself. All right, let's call a spade, right?
I meant
And at
calling a
that
spade
time,
spade.
yeah, you made hella examples, and that's great because we all need help right now, post 2025. We all gonna need help if you don't need help right now, right? But the thing is, let's call a spade, though, right? And you know, hey,
What's the spade?
with a spade is,
No,
are
I
you
know,
asking for
but what
yourself
is
or
the spade in
somebody
this
else?
scenario?
you,
You
this
asking for
this
yourself or
is
somebody else?
Oh, for me,
when I
at
was
this point, I'm at the point where I've done all I can for myself. I'm kind of just in a
I,
stasis until I
I
can
was
receive better help.
let
Right.
me interject real quick. When I was in college, we had this debate on in psychology is uh accepting help considered helping self, right? And debates are just about who can present the information in the best aspect, the more compelling aspect, right? But what I extracted from that is simply about perspective. The reality is, if you want to say someone is accepting help, is helping themselves, or is a process of helping self, or then you get some people who say, I can't help myself. I need someone else to help me. And by them yearning for wanting help, it's considered them helping self is all about perspective. So I think that's where I'm hearing um, the dysfunction from the conversation is that
Yeah.
is
And I think that's
is
initially where it came from because that's my heart. I can help you, but I can't bullshit with you respectfully, you know? It's all love. But I got you. For you or anybody else, right? We don't play games, but I got you. Yeah.
And that's just the standard of you helping someone. You know, everyone has, you know, their own standards. Like I tell people, I'm not meeting you where you at. I can throw you a rope and help you climb up, but you got to come up here for me to, you know, because that's my standard, you know, because of my personal experience of meeting people where they at, where what it did to me. Other people didn't have that experience, so they're willing to do, you know, certain things that I'm not. And you know, we all have our own standards of what we
Preference or
can
standard?
tolerate. You know what I'm saying? You said what?
Preference or standard, though.
I consider mine a standard because it's not a preference at all. It's not what I want. It's what will occur. Like this is a rule. This is what I live by.
Okay.
So I mean, a preferences change. My standards only change when I have to evolve or adapt to a situation.
And word, I'll even add to that. My preference is one thing. I ain't got time. My standard, I got time whenever you need because I know what it is. It's all good, baby. You feel me?
I don't know if I agree
So
with
there's a
you.
there's a thing.
I
Yeah.
don't. I don't know if I agree with you on like the
I
perspective
don't
thing here.
I don't know if
Just
you know a lot of things, but I know one thing for sure. It's still standard. Yeah. I'm here.
I don't know if I
BDB, what up,
agree with
man?
you on the perspective thing. Just because like when we actually examine a lot of these like personal guilt type things deeper, or like somebody saying like, no, I want to be like this. It comes down to a internal justification and sustaining the ego almost uh, for to emotionally deal with the belief that again, if they try to seek help, they won't actually get support because they're not even worth the support. And it's not until they get people
Seek
taking
help
the
and don't get
time.
support. What does that
Hold
even
on, hold
mean?
on,
Break it down.
hold on. Let her finish go on because I'm interested.
It's not
Go
until
ahead.
people take time to show them like you are worth our time, and and we will fight for you, that then they believe like, okay, I'm not alone and just going to get this treatment. I have people behind me, and therefore they feel more confident in making that decision. And I agree, they do have to make that decision, but it's a huge difference when they feel like they're backed up.
I don't I don't understand. I'm just saying for me personally, I'm just trying to get clarification. I don't see how that associates to how we view someone accepting help is helping themselves or not.
Oh no, I say it takes a village. It's not just helping themselves.
No, I was saying no, what I was saying was how we view if someone accepting help is helping themselves. You know, that's a personal preference of how people view that. Some people
Oh
will
yeah, no.
view it as, you know, them accepting help is the begin the process of the first stage of accepting help is you helping yourself. And some people will say, no, that's just them accepting help, you know, them looking or wanting help.
But
They're not actually helping themselves.
obviously like the most debilitating disease might mean that you need an ambulance to actually be brought to the hospital, right? And alternatively, if there were no hospital to go to, then it'd be kind of hard to get the help you need. So I'm pointing out that there are scenarios that can limit somebody's actual agency in that regard.
But see, even in that, see,
Hey
even in that
man.
situation,
Hey,
right?
hey. All right, go
I
ahead,
got
but
you,
hey,
Andy. Hold
yeah.
on. Even in that situation, right? If there was a place to take you, right? If the ambulance was to come, I'm gonna use your scenario. If the ambulance was to come, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do know you can refuse the ambulance taking you to the hospital, right?
Sure, but I don't
You
see.
don't have to get that $5,000 USD over here, all right? You
I don't
did?
think.
So what
I
I'm
don't think you
saying
really
is,
addressed the
what I'm
point of.
saying for me, right? This is because I'm saying this. I'm saying this myself. If you understand that you need the help, you're going to accept the fact that you need the help, and you're going to be willing to allow that ambulance to take you to said hospital,
I've already agreed
right?
that at the end of
So
the day, it does depend on a personal choice. It's
Hold
just it's a
on, let
lot
him
easier to
finish.
make
Let
that
him finish.
choice.
Let him finish.
But I feel like I've already addressed this.
well, you didn't, because you was, because what I heard was, the fact that you don't believe a lot of people could accept the fact that they need the help. They need the external help first in order for them to receive help. I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying you gotta internally want it in order for the external to be received by you. Everything is inside out. In my
Well,
life, everything is inside out.
this is
So if
only
everything is
true.
inside out, it starts with me first. It
This is
starts
only
with
true.
me, and then
Oh,
I'm
you keep
able to
sounding like you're
accept
done.
some things from outside. Say it again.
You keep sounding like you're done. That's why I'm accidentally cutting you off. So,
Oh, okay. So
and
because
I might
everything
do
is
that too. Sorry.
internal to external, so that's why I'm saying it the way I'm saying it. Now, if I'm mishearing you, then I'm mishearing you, right? I'm just saying, for me, in order
Okay.
for you to
Yeah.
get the help, you gotta want the help, or you're gonna need the help. You're gonna accept the help from wherever it comes from, but you're going to embrace it first, that I need the help before anything occurs.
So I'm going to try to be super clear with this one. And by this one I mean this attempt, not you. You. Sorry about that. Um, with with what I'm saying is that, like, at the end of the day, assuming that we don't have, like, we're not talking about like medically forming somebody into the psych ward or something like that, where they obviously can't leave. Um, yeah, it's going to come down to a choice. What my argument was, it becomes a lot easier, based on what I described before, to make that decision when A, the help is available, and B, you've got people who will support you. And that literally means, the ambulance was a simple example, but if you're going through rehab, having family that will visit you and stuff, that can make a huge difference psychologically towards your ability to commit to such a long-term decision.
Wow,
Okay, question.
what you just said right there, man, I appreciate that. Thank you.
And I'm agreeing with you that, like, most of the times we help people, we don't force them into a cage and say you have to take this help. So you have a point that most of these things do come up to personal decisions, but it's just the reason I gave those two examples of the most debilitating disease and the hospital not being there is that unless those things are there, then it's kind of hard for that person to make that decision. And that's why it's easier to make that decision the more that that's available. That's all.
Let me, let me ask you a question. Do you think there's more people who need more like you? I don't even know how you would put it. More like the communal aspect of mental health, or people who can self help.
Yeah, I think, particularly like the strain, that a lot of people get from mental illness right now comes from, like, having to deal with people who just have no concept of what that person's going through. And if we had better discussions of, like, okay, well, this person's depressed, well, we, let's get to know this person instead of just, letting them be alone and depressed. And sometimes that can mean a bit of persistence. You obviously don't want to harass the person, but just being like, hey, I know you're down in the dumps. I know it's hard to hang out with people right now, but if you want to come for coffee or something, just come for coffee. And I'll admit this much: it's hard to know how much any of these small gestures will help, but by humanizing them and by making them feel included in stuff, you can at least help ease the burden. Not get rid of the mental illness itself, but you can ease the burden for them and make them feel like they're not alone in fighting it.
It sounds like you're alone.
Yeah. I certainly wish I had more local peer support in my mental illness stuff.
Okay.
But I also am. I've had multiple therapists tell me that I'm very self-actualizing, self-regulating. So
You
I do have, like,
stuttering. Hold on. What'd you say?
okay, I'm very self-actualizing and self-regulating. So I'm very good at, like, coping with stresses and stuff like that, and I'm very much aware of what I'm going through and like what state I'm in.
Oh, what does that mean?
So like in terms of like say I'm having a bad day, I'm able to like kind of think about why am I having a bad day, and I'm also able to control my behavior, which is the self-regulatory aspect.
What behavior and what thoughts did you have?
Well, if I'm like more irritable, just less likely to yell at somebody or make sarcastic remarks or stuff like that. Be like, okay, I'm irritable right now. I have that impulse, but I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. That kind of stuff.
Did your impulses lead to any actions?
If I'm
In what
not
way?
self-actualizing and self-regulating, yeah.
Okay. In what way?
Well, just impulsive type behavior, like responding too reactively to situations.
Okay. I'm done here. Hey, that was great. Thank you.
It sounds like a lot of people aren't even so many things happen subconsciously people aren't aware of if they're
Sure.
having an emotional impulse or if it's a stimulant from the environment or internal. A lot of people ain't
Right.
aware of that. So self-regulating, that's what I did most of my life. Um,
Me especially, yeah. I don't know if you are done, but I have a story. So if you have a story, definitely go first since you're not finished. Okay, so you're done? I just don't want to interrupt. I'm trying really hard.
Mhm.
So, I'm sorry, I'm bad at
yeah, I'm
this.
good.
Um, so yeah, especially for me, and I'm not saying it's not oppression Olympics, but I can relate a lot because I was in group homes, and first of all, they misdiagnosed me with bipolar. My understanding of it now is I was in a bipolar environment and reacting to the changes in emotions of my environment. But they put me on those type of meds, which made it harder for me to actually control my own behavior, and as well just compounding stress. Um, but I wanted desperately to behave. My grandparents were just begging me to do it. I'd go on home visits every other weekend, and they'd just be like, "Just behave." I'd be like, "I want to," and I started like hating myself for not behaving right. And I started opening up like this inner dialogue with myself, like, "Why don't you just behave?" and blah blah blah. And at some point, I came to the conclusion. I definitely don't remember when, but is that I didn't just have one mind, right? I had my conscious mind and my subconscious mind, and sometimes what I wanted was different than what my subconscious wanted. And I would try to tell it to my therapist, and she'd be like, "That's very smart, but that doesn't help at all." And I think it ultimately helped for me because at an early age, I was aware of impulsive behaviors and how people could be impulsive. Now, it took me a long time to stop being impulsive in most scenarios myself, and I still have my vices, but um, when it comes down to it, I'm definitely not the you know type of kid who lashes out because I'm having a bad day that I was in the group homes. And that was a very condensed explanation of how that came to be, just to be clear, for brevity.
I mean, at least you're aware. And that's the beginning process
Yeah.
of even desiring, help. And this the way you talk about, and don't take this the wrong way. It's just like even a lot of conversations that I have with you, I hear um, you project your experiences a lot. You
My
say
what?
it without saying it. You project your experiences a lot. Like I
Sorry.
can almost like when you do tell your story, I'd be like, oh, that's where that's from, or that's where this is from, or that's where that comes from. I understand. I get a deeper understanding of why you feel the way you feel about certain aspects of life.
Oh, and to be clear, like I don't need to hide any of that. Like I'm very much an open book when it comes to um, like mental health discussions, and I at least want people to get it right because just having a therapist who has false conceptions about stress can make them completely useless. And so, if we're going to try to help people, it's a practice. It's you're never a master at it. You're trying to get better. And so I know I'm not the best at offering constructive criticism, but I did try to offer some because it is a very emotional subject for me, but I think it's important to be objective more than anything about it.
Shout out to Bob. I
Hold on.
appreciate you,
Yeah, I
brother.
was about to say shout out to Bob before.
Something about these online platforms that seems to attract a lot of craziness.
Chestnut! Jesus Christ! What's this?
Something about these online platforms that seems to attract a lot of craziness. Something about these online platforms that seems to attract a lot of craziness.
I
Do you
gotta
make
put
those
that
yourself?
scroll in my intro. Huh?
Do you make those yourself, the word?
I make everything myself.
That's incredible. And
Everything
not
I
AI, eh? It doesn't look like it's AI. It looks like you edited it yourself.
no,
That's
no,
great.
yeah,
Yeah,
there's
but
some
at the
things I
same time,
made.
I'm gonna drop real quick. But shout out to Big Word though. You did. Shout out to Big Bust Down. Shout out to Commando too.
And
Hey,
and you know what? Like, if you're just trying
hey,
to help people,
Cosmo Fox. Shout
I
out to you.
shout
I
out to
got
you
you. But stay
because
focused. You hear me? And
if
it's way more life to live. You did.
and
When you go through, you check your own gas and you pump your own gas. It's way more life to live. It might hurt sometimes, but man, there's so much life God bless you with. And that's the only thing I can tell you because when we talking about therapy and anybody, can't do it without therapy in yourself. And on top of that, you can therapy yourself and might not have nothing from everybody else. And I appreciate that. Right. At least you got yourself together because you can create another generation have the proper mindset even when they go through hard times. So God bless you. God bless everybody on the panel. And thank you, Word. I got you.
For sure, bro. Appreciate you coming up, man.
To
Appreciate
the
your
top, it
time.
can't be stopped. You already know it.
Yee.
Yee.
Bay Area.
Say less.
Shout out to the Bay, man. Shout out to the Bay. Yeah, this was a very titillating conversation. Um, all people got something out of it because you know trauma has levels to it,
oh
and
yeah, definitely.
you know the more I help people, the more compassionate I am to the individual experiences you know that people have. Um, it's not about if I understand it. It's just about understanding um, what they going through. You know, I don't have to agree with it or disagree with it for it to be meaningful to them. And I think that's one of the components uh, that one of the elements I had to add after leaving the hospital. I did a lot of different jobs helping people, but even mentoring is different from coaching. Like, so yeah, this has opened a whole new level of compassion for me and gave me more understanding. But yeah, I agree with a lot of what people said. Mr. Brian, you always coming up when we about to get off. I'm gonna let my bro. What up, Cole?
I just woke up, bro.
I know. I'm gonna start doing more shows on the weekend, bro, so we can rock out. Because I know this time you get up around 3:30.
Yeah, is my audio fucked or is it all right?
No, you good, bro. You good.
If it's burping, I can fix it.
Oh no, you good. You good.
Not yet. But you know, before hold on, before anything else happens, right? I'm just I'm just appreciative that we was allowed to have the conversation. And I just hope that we all received something out of this, right? Maybe for Mel, maybe she becomes more comfortable and more uh embraceful at the conversations that we're having, just for her to feel comfortable to continue to come back and just to receive whatever constructive things that she can get out of these conversations, whether it's here or anywhere else. So that's the thing I just want to leave off with, right? We just trying to break the traumas. We trying to help people heal from the trauma, and whatever way we can do it is how we're going to do it.
What was the topic?
How do you heal from trauma?
Oh.
Can I quickly give a closing statement? Because it's actually a good time for me to get going as well.
Well, go ahead and rock out.
So, yeah, Bust It Down, or Gary, I think your name is. I can at least see, like, maybe instead of reiterating that point next time I come on, just like using my experiences to bolster what you guys are saying more. But as long as you guys are trying to help people, my criticisms are only constructive. Like, keep doing what you're doing, but like also try to like think ahead. Like, maybe like I think the people that you're trying to help may also be lacking purposes, especially in a capitalistic world where it's just like work for somebody else to make profit. And so, there's many ways you can give people an alternative purpose that might come down to like just like what gives them meaning. Because before it used to be like you were forced to have a purpose because you were always in war, but now we're actually kind of having real like multi-generational peace, and we have to forge new purposes for ourselves. For me, it's art. I once realized that like this all could have gone by, all the plants and nature and stuff, but without a single person to actually appreciate any of it. And that alone makes it more valuable than nothing to me, and will always be like a positive that I'm here, even when I'm feeling in my lows. So, I want to make art at least, or maybe even an invention if I can get my shit together, that really accentuates that appreciation. And that's been my purpose. But I think for like a lot of people, if you don't like, I've taught myself from all the education that I wouldn't have gotten, or that I didn't get because of my childhood just getting in the way of those goals. And I fought for that, and that's what's giving me a lot more kind of opportunities in that sense. But for a lot of people, that's a big ask. And so, I mean, there are a lot of systemic issues that just make these things so much harder. And I guess what I'm saying is, like, don't get discouraged if it feels like you can't help everybody and it doesn't seem, and you don't understand why. Some of these things are just, beyond us. Like, they've literally outgrown our control, and until we bring that back down to the level where it's actually interacting with us again, and I mean the system, then we're never gonna like have real meaningful purposes that aren't just like commodified jobs or something. And it's going to be hard to help people until that changes, in my opinion, to the fullest extent. You can probably help someone feel better, and that's always good. But, society needs therapy as a whole. But anyways, thank you for hearing me out. You guys are wonderful listeners, and I do try to be less disagreeable overall. By the way, you do encourage me to do that, so thank you for that.
Oh yeah,
Well, we
I
appreciate.
enjoy it.
Yeah,
I
we
enjoy
appreciate your openness. Yeah, we just appreciate your openness. That's why I said, with the 9%, the motto is a better you is a better us, right? If you become better, we all become better. Why? Because your improvement in yourself, it allows us to improve with you because we're all working for the same thing, which is to improve ourselves one way, shape, form, or matter. If you doing it, we're doing it, and that's why we're here on a consistent basis.
I know I just said I was about to leave, but you just reminded me of such an important thing that I realized that kind of made me diverge away from, pure leftism more into humanism. And that was realizing that, like, the worst person in the world, right? They're only going to be worse if you make their material conditions worse, if you treat them like crap. And there's a part of the left that doesn't get that. And so, I'm one of those people that believes that even the worst person in the world should still, be treated with dignity, should still get human rights and stuff. And I think like that's the true key to helping people is if you want someone to be their better self, you have to raise them up in every aspect. Because then they'll just be fighting their own kind of downward momentum from everything else dragging them down. Anyways, again, I don't want to ruminate too much. That's mostly just like I think it's empowering to think that like we're kind of fighting two sides of the same coin. You're helping people on the individual level, and I'm trying to help people with like their surroundings.
And I think that's another thing that people misunderstand about, like, because I am a life coach, so in real life, what I do is help people. But on here, like when I come on here, I guess if you want to say self development is a form of help, but my intention is not like to come on here and counsel people or nothing like that. That's why I talk about different aspects like spirituality. We talk about philosophy. We talk about psychology. I just equip people with, I make people aware of things that they may not be aware of, like different concepts or how to approach different situations. So it's more about self development on here, what I do on here versus coaching. Sometimes I do bring the coaching aspect on here, but it's more about developing self. Like, so in different aspects of life, like when you said, we to help people, it's not, it's specialists, but if people want to get better, they got to do better. And to do better, you have to do better in different aspects of life, not just one. So,
For sure.
you
Anyways,
know,
thank you
and
for having me.
oh, for sure.
Guess we
Have a
go.
good one. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Bye.
Wild Heart, have a good one, man.
Yeah,
Wild Heart,
no.
you joined right before I was about to get off. But go ahead. I'm gonna let everybody rock out for a minute, but I can't stay on too long. I gotta
See,
get
everybody's telling you not to end it, bro. Nobody wants you to end it, bro. It ain't
I
my
know, bro,
fault. It
but
ain't my fault, man.
I know, bro, but I do get nothing no more.
If you ended it, yeah, thanks for letting me on. It's fine.
I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna be back. I should be on all this week, man. I'll be on all this week, and I'll do
Cool.
something on the weekend so we can rock out a little later. I
Yeah, because
think
I'd like to
Friday,
talk
like
about that.
like Friday, I probably can rock out, to like 5 in the morning.
Ooh,
Saturday I got something big to do.
don't talk dirty to
Well,
me. 5
Sunday,
a.m.
yeah, I'll rock out probably Friday. I think I had the time. I don't think my mom
Saturday
will
gonna
come.
be busy for you. Saturday gonna be busy in all aspects. You got
Yeah,
sports galore
yeah.
Saturday. I got sports galore Saturday, so I don't know. I got the
Bro,
Serrano fight. I got Saturday night main event. I got a whole bunch of things to
yeah,
do
the
this
Serrano
Saturday.
fight.
Yo, speaking
See?
of fighting, speaking of fighting, did you guys see on Joe Rogan today? Jim Lampley was on Joe Rogan today talking about all the fights he's called, like Mike Tyson, all that stuff, and it was a really good interview, man.
Joe Rogan,
He was doing it for about 40 years. Yeah, he
Yeah,
got a lot of
yeah.
calls.
Well, I mean, he talked about the first time he saw Tyson fight, like the very first time when he just got into like calling fights, and like he told a really great story about Tyson and Custom Auto on there and stuff. Like it's a good interview. It's up on YouTube on JRE on Joe Rogan's channel. It's really good.
That's cool. Yeah. Can I just say hello to Commander Alpha Turkey in the side shot? Yeah, thank you.
Hello, Commander, Lady of the Night. How are you?
And I shall take my leave now. I'll probably start one up myself if there's no one else like. But thank you for letting me on. Good to see everyone. Thank you.
Oh, for sure.
Welcome, Wildheart. I'm
Appreciate
glad
you,
you're
bro.
doing all right, Wildheart. Appreciate you.
Yeah, because I didn't want to be rude, but like I disagree about the therapy thing, but we can talk about that later. Like if it helps some people, more power to you, but I disagree about it.
Yeah, therapy definitely don't help everybody, but it is helpful
No,
for a
No.
lot. You know,
we
different things.
just
When it comes to like helping people, bro, it could be different things that work for different people. That's
that's a
just the
hundred
reality
yeah,
of
that's
it.
100% true. It's just we have a very society's very odd now. Everything is just stick kids in a room and the parents don't deal with it. We pawn them off on a therapist. We pump them full of medication, Adderall, Ritalin, like, you know what I mean? Like there's other ways to deal with shit. You don't need to medicate every child. Like I don't agree with that shit.
No, I
That's
don't
that's
agree with
that.
that either.
Yeah, you ain't gonna get no disagreement with that.
Well, the problem that I see is, if as a human being, everybody should have at least one person, right, to talk to, whether that's a parent or a brother or a friend from school or whatever. If you don't have anybody to like open up and share shit with, if you have to go and pay an adult therapist to sit in a room for an hour and they're literally watching the clock, they're going to cut you off right in the middle of a sentence when an hour is up and tell you, "Oh, we'll finish it next week." Like that's all they care about is the money. And then you walk out of their office and all your problems still exist. They didn't fix shit. They just listened to you rattle for an hour. Like they didn't give you any tools. They didn't help you with anything. They just wrote you a script and sent you on your way. Like I hate that shit. I hate it. And there's better ways to do things. Everybody should have somebody in life to talk to or to help them out. You know what I mean?
I agree.
That's
Once
all I'm
again,
saying.
I agree 100%. Right,
Yeah.
and
Cause
that's why a lot of the time some people come to this app, and
yeah, for
if they
real.
hear if they could sense a listening ear, they'll be more they'll be more open and honest with that open ear, because there's no difference between that open ear and that open ear that you're paying for. The only difference is nobody's trying to cut you off, because that ear is actually open to listen to everything. So that way there's an understanding of what you're going through. So that way you can help the person, or give a suggestion of finding a solution to leave that problem that you just told us where it's at, or get away from it, or escape it, or however you're going to find a solution to figure it out. That's the best way to put it.
Well, yeah, because let's look at it this way. How many doctors, right, that write scripts for addiction medications, or how many therapists that write meds for Adderall or Ritalin? How many of them actually have ADHD and bipolar disorder? How many doctors actually have dealt and battled addiction and been an alcoholic or a drug user? Like most of them never have. They spent their life in the classroom reading out of books. They've never been on the street and
Yeah.
actually, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so it's a bunch of bullshit, dude. I'm telling you.
Bro,
I
believe
agree.
it or not, most people in the medical field are fucking functional addicts, bro. I,
Well, that may be true. That may be true.
bro, like,
I mean, everybody's going home. Every housewife's going home at night and having a glass of wine and a fucking Xanax. We know.
bro, it fucked me up to see how many people was on like Adderall, Xanax, that's doing
Yeah.
surgery. Like they
Yeah,
fucking
man.
kill. I'm like, oh, the fuck up, bro. Like,
Yeah.
how the fuck? Well, I gotta take my medicine. You gonna take a Xanax before you gonna put them motherfuckers to sleep? Like, hold on, bro, what's going? Man,
You know,
like, bro, that shit
you
opened
know,
my eyes. That experience, man, opened my eyes to how life is, bro. Like,
yeah.
oh
Yeah.
shit.
What's there's a Mel Gibson movie, where he plays a character named Porter. It's not Lethal Weapon. He's like a bad guy and the people steal money from him. He comes get, but anyway, at the beginning of the movie, he gets shot a bunch, and he has to go to one of these backroom doctors. And the guy literally drinks about half a fifth of whiskey before he pulls bullets out of Mel Gibson's back, like so his hands don't shake. Like that's what that reminded me of just now.
Payback, pay off. I
Right.
think that's the name of it. Payback,
Yeah,
pay off,
Payback.
something
Yeah,
like that.
Payback.
Hey,
Yeah. The guy literally licks his lips. This fat, like, guy working out of a back room, this, like, doctor that lost his license, and he drinks out of a giant whiskey bottle, and then he starts pulling bullets out of Mel Gibson's back, and he dumps the whiskey on his back to sterilize the bullet wounds. Like, and that's what that made me think of.
oh man, that shit. I'm telling you, man.
Bro,
That shit fucked me up. I'm like, hold on, bro, y'all getting. But then when they start asking you for shit, I'm like, man, shit, this is easy, but I can make some
I
money up
just,
from this one.
I was one of those kids, bro, that
I need a
got
lot of you.
forced. I was one of those kids that got forced by my parents to take med and shit like that until I turned the age of 18 when I could tell them, fuck you, I'm not taking it anymore. And so I had a
Oh
childhood
my.
like that. So it just that hits real close to home to me when people are talking about therapy and medication and shit because it was not a fun life growing up being forced to take that shit. And so
That's what,
it still bothers me.
and that's what I was saying, like at the beginning of the conversation, like having this conversation is kind of touchy because everybody's own personal experience.
Sure,
So
yeah.
just being open and receptive, damn, or even being compassionate to other people's experiences is key to extracting the information that's useful, in these conversations. But y'all gonna make me stay on here for another hour. Baba, what it do, bro? What the
What
business
up?
is, man? I
How's
ain't
it
heard
going?
from Baba yet, but I'm gonna let you. You wanna hit us with something before we get off here? My bad, y'all. If I didn't have to get up in the morning, I had to be up at
Just
9. I
Oh
got a
no, it's all
plane at
good.
9:30. That's the only
It's
thing.
all
I'll be up
good.
here rocking with y'all all night, man.
I'm
But
just look. I'm just glad you came back. I was going to put an
yeah,
APB
but
out
I
on you. I'm just saying.
got a couple bills to pay, so I gotta be I haven't spent too
Go
much
ahead,
damn
Bobby.
money.
What's up, Bobby?
what's up? What's up? What's up with that
I
two
can't
versus
call it,
two,
man.
Gary? Come on, Gary. I'm not gonna forget about it.
Listen, man, your
Yeah,
guy ain't been here. Your guy ain't been here. What are you talking
My
about?
guy, my guy.
Yeah,
I'm always here.
you ain't man. You ain't been here like 2 weeks. It's been like you took a PTO. You took a YouTube PTO.
Fucking paid time off.
He, he took a YouTube one. I didn't even know they do that. I guess they do. That's for you monetize people. We get unpaid leave if we do it because I ain't monetized.
Yeah,
That's how they do
bro, I
us.
lost like eight memberships for being off that long, man. People don't forget about me. I've been off that long. I
Uh,
can't. I told my wife I can't take no more time off, bro. Out of sight, out of mind, bro. That's how it be, man. People forget about you quick, so I can't take too much time off. If you don't hear too much, then they don't appreciate you. If you ain't on here enough, then they forget about you. So that's how the game works. So it's just finding that
Yeah,
sweet spot.
we just got to play the game. We got to play it on the even. Look, we got to have balance. As Stoic would say, consistency is the key. Got to be consistent. That's all.
word.
See, that's how you solve that. Like I said, I'm
Right.
just glad you back up here, and I'm glad that you know what I mean. The conversation went well tonight. I can't really complain about it. You've been shared out about 6 trillion times tonight. So
Cool. Shout
we
out to
back
y'all, man.
because
Appreciate that.
look. I'm on live. Rachel was on live. We out. You out here.
I appreciate that, man. Bro, I
Yep.
done strained my lat muscle, bro. I started working
Time
out
to put
again.
your ass to bed.
I was doing shoulder shrugs, bro. I ain't young no
That's just
more,
that's
bro. I used to shrug like 300 pounds, man. I picked up 200. It felt good. I'm feeling that shit now, bro. It feel like you got a tongue yours on my neck or something.
damn.
That's therapy right there,
Pace
bro.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's therapy.
Yeah, I pulled this
Yeah, you just
motherfucker. I feel the swelling all in it.
Look, that's a couple of days off for that. We gonna find something else.
I'm about to go
We
throw
gonna
some
find
ice on
another
that
way to
shit
work
right now.
Better get you
Yeah.
some
Oh, I got
Advil,
other
bro.
muscles. I got other muscles I can work on. So I'm good. You said
out.
what?
I said you better get some Advil, bro.
I don't like pills, man. I don't like
Yeah,
pills. That shit fuck my
I know.
stomach up, man.
I get it.
I try to stay away from it. I rather smoke, bro. I'm about to go smoke. That's what I'm about to
Oh, that's the best. Hey,
do.
that's the best anti-inflammatory you can get right there.
Yeah, bro. I got some motherfucking CBD. I got it all, bro.
Okay.
I got the
You
ointment.
got
I
some
might go put some of that on
All right. Do the damn thing. Go get it.
this shit. Damn, bro. I might have to go get this checked out. I'm trying to pop this motherfucker.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
It's slowing us up into my neck. I was like, that's something else. I haven't popped my lats like twice before, but it hurt way worse than that. It's just discomfort.
Yeah.
But my shit swole. If it was on the other side of my neck, I'd be worried like it's my shunt. But yeah, but let me get off here, man. I've been up here rocking and rolling.
All right. You come back Friday?
I'll be back Friday for sure. I'll be back tomorrow. I think I'm gonna try to go live all this week.
All
Probably
right.
except for Saturday. So Friday night going into Saturday, I'll be on.
Okay.
But Saturday going into Sunday, I might not be on, but I'll be back Sunday going into Monday.
I
So
got you.
so when I say Friday is really Saturday. It'll be Saturday 12:30. So technically it's Saturday morning, but I'll be on all this week. I should be on all this week. I got a client tomorrow. I gotta get up early for, but the rest of the week is quiet. Except for no, I do got a client Thursday. But I'll be straight. That client in until 12. So this
I
one
gotta
is
get
at
up.
9.
I gotta get up tomorrow too, man. I gotta go to the doctor tomorrow, so I can't be up real late. I'm with you. Different kind of doctor though, not therapist doctor. Different.
Physical therapy.
Yeah, no. Just
Oh.
cancer checkup, man.
Oh, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Well, everything gonna go good for you, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm doing all. Yeah, I've been in remission since last year, so I'm good. I'm good.
That's good to hear, bro. Yeah, all
Yeah.
good vibes your way, man. All good vibes your way.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's just a bitch. I got to drive like an hour and a half into the city, but it's all right though.
You go to the Cleveland Clinic?
No. Where I'm at, I go to the OSU James Center, the cancer ward in Columbus, where the Buckeyes play.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm in Ohio, bro. Yeah, Cleveland is that's like 4 hours from where I'm at. That's like where the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is. That shit's like 4 hours up north.
Yeah, they just sent my mom Cleveland Clinic just sent my mom a request because she do the traveling agency and they want her to come down there. She worked down there a couple months ago, but they wanted her to take a position. I'm like, hell no, you ain't moving to Ohio. You staying here with me.
Well, I mean, it's Columbus is the James Center is one of the best cancer hospitals in the country. Now, I've never been to the one in Cleveland. I've never had to go there, but the James Center is actually the OSU James Center is one of the best cancer hospitals around, and they definitely know their shit. So I'm glad I was able to go there. But yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good.
That's what's up, bro. That's good to hear, man. It's
Yeah.
good to hear. Commander, I
Yeah.
seen you pop up there. You still in the back. Why you ain't say nothing?
I have no idea.
About to put her butt back on stage. Nah. Oh no.
I
See?
put
Oh,
myself
there she
back.
go.
Oh, she put herself back. Okay.
Yeah, Commander VIP, man.
She got keys.
What up, Nine?
Yeah, she got keys to
What up?
the ride. Keys to the spaceship. What up,
Who's still
Nine?
here?
Baba, Rachel probably sleep.
You don't hear me talking? I know you're not deaf. I know you're blind,
No,
but
you
not
have
deaf.
not been talking.
You've
You've
been
not been
muted for like an
talking at
hour.
all.
I just said what up back to Commander, and I told his ass to go to bed before Gary went down.
Man, ain't nobody hear you say nothing.
I
Thanks, man.
know. I
Talking
was
to the
actually gonna
universe.
say like
Y'all gonna hear it.
I was gonna say well if are you gonna stay up, Rachel? I was gonna say if Rachel stays on, we can go to Rachel's, or we can stay here a little bit when it's. But obviously, where do you have to think about that for maybe next time,
Oh, you can work
or
out if
go to
y'all want
like
to talk. I can drop and y'all can do your thing, man. You
because I
can
can
you
end the stream.
yeah, you just hit end stream. If y'all want to rock out, man, rock out, bro. I'm good.
I thought you retired, Commander. What is this?
Wait, what?
And
I'm
she's
retired.
practicing learn. She gonna learn how to make her own lives after this. Chill,
I'm
Commander.
not retired.
Oh, that's what
My
I heard.
schedule
Yeah,
changed.
Oh,
I'm about
okay.
to get off, and y'all can. I'm gonna listen to y'all on the thing, so she can get the experience in the show.
I'm
You
part
know,
time.
just tell them to care about how they feel before, no matter what you do. Just say, "Hey, people," like Weird always say, "Care about how you feel," and that's all you gotta say. And I'm happy.
All right, all right. But Rachel, are you staying up?
Huh?
Are you staying up?
I mean, I've been up. I was letting everybody talk.
Okay, you
Gary up,
guys talk for a minute. I'll be right back. I'm really interested in hearing what Mr. Blonde has to say about therapy.
Oh shit! All right.
What I mean?
I'll be listening. Just give me a minute.
What are you doing in the background, Rachel? What are you doing over there?
Me, I'm just chilling in the fan, falling back.
I'm trying not to sniff. My sinuses are fucked. I don't want to do that into the mic. Hang on.
Huh?
My sinuses are fucked. I didn't want to sniff into the mic.
You sniffing? Oh
Yeah,
shit!
yeah.
What?
I don't want to sniff into the mic because my sinuses are fucked.
Oh snap! I'm dead.
Oh, Baba, my shit ain't burping, is it?
I was when you first came on, but it's not right now.
I turned it off and on. I turned echo
Yeah,
cancellation
it
on. All
works.
right, good, good.
Yep.
That's what's up.
What up, man? Stoic in the building, yo.
Stoic.
Somebody's running water.
Yep. Washing my hands. Want to see?
Attaboy. Yeah, I want to see. Show me them sexy
Hey,
fucking.
you,
Show me
you
them
like
sexy digits.
you like clean hands.
I do like clean hands. I like clean. Show me them. Show me them sexy digits. Let me see
Oh
them.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Dude, well, You know what I'm doing right now?
Probably watching a movie.
No, no, no. I'm holding a giant bowl full of CLR, and I'm eating the calcium buildup from around the edge of my faucet.
You must have like an industrial sized gallon jug of CLR, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I took a like a big ass mixing bowl and filled it full of CLR, and I'm holding it up underneath the faucet in the bathroom, and I'm watching it eat all this calcium buildup off there, which is kind of sweet. That shit's gonna be clean as hell here in a minute.
Hey Jax, I tried this thing because I heard somebody talking about it. It's
Uh
really
huh.
good. It's called Biltong.
Biltong. I know what that is. Why do I know what that is?
It's this South African. It's not jerky, but it's like jerky. You should try it out, man. It's really good.
That's where I've heard of it. Yeah, I've never had it, but I know. I think I've heard Joe Rogan talk about it actually.
Oh, really? I heard
Yeah,
actually one of the South African guys on here talking about it.
yeah. Joe
Really,
Rogan's all about that carnivore diet shit, and I think I heard him talking about it.
man, it's real good.
Okay, built. I don't know if I can get it around here, bro.
You just ordered online.
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I just didn't know if anyone around here would carry it, but
Nah, it's not that popular yet.
it's well, as far as TV goes, though, I am watching Hulu and that show, The Bear. I'm watching that show, The Bear.
I like the first season, but I'm not watching the new season. No way.
I'm just got it on in the background, but I just love Maddie Matheson, the chef, the actual real chef that like does appearances on the show. I love Maddie.
I don't like that person.
You don't like Maddie?
Nah. All style, man.
Ah, dude,
All
I just,
style, no substance.
nah, I just like his attitude. I just think he's funny on there. He's
What
not
about
like the
his cook?
great.
What about his cooking content? You like his cooking content?
Some of the stuff he makes on his YouTube channel is all right, but yeah, like no, I agree with you. He's no French Laundry kind of chef. He's no Anthony Bourdain. You know what I mean? But I like his attitude a little bit. I like where he came from
Yeah, you like
because he
his
can't.
style.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But
That's my point. You,
okay, all right, fair enough.
I mean,
He's a
listen,
wild. He's wild.
you don't even like food. So
No, I don't like food, but I
he's the
like watching
perfect
it.
chef for you. He's a perfect
Yeah,
chef for you. All style, no substance.
I know, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like I like watching him make it. I don't have to eat the shit. I just like his attitude. Yeah, his food really isn't like the greatest stuff. I've seen him make a couple dishes that look all right, but there's better chefs out there for sure. But the guy that plays in The Bear, he was on that show Shameless. You know what I mean? He played the character Lip on Shameless from Showtime.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember. That was
Yeah, so
okay show.
yeah, he's all right. He's all right. But I don't know if Commander really wants me to go down the rabbit hole of fucking therapy or not. But
Well, by the time she gets
Okay,
back,
I'm
you'll be
back.
ready to hop off. Oh, okay, there
I'm
she
back.
is.
But listen, I heard you say Anthony Bourdain. I don't know the other people you talked about, but that guy was really cool.
yeah,
Like his
yeah, yeah.
shows, like I know
You
he's
thought he
passed away, but his
did
like
you?
I
You
wish
thought he
he
was
would.
hot?
Huh?
You thought he was hot? Was he hot?
Did you say? Oh, if I thought he was hot?
Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought he was like a really cool dude, like a really cool man. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think he's hot. He kind of was kind of goofy looking, but you know,
He was a
sometimes in some way, even if like someone's goofy, just their personality does make them attractive. So yeah, I would say yes. He was
he was a
totally
bad
hot.
motherfucker. Yeah, he was a bad motherfucker, man.
You definitely live for food.
Yes. Yeah, that was a big loss when we lost him for sure, man. Definitely.
Well, I was watching something about like did you guys know he had a wife?
Yeah.
His
And
wife
then
was
he got,
crazy as fuck.
Yep.
I only saw like some small part where I think he had a little boy, right?
He
Did he
had
have
I
a
think
what?
so, but
son?
he
A
was older,
son?
right? He was older.
I thought he had a
Yeah,
son with that wife.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. Yeah.
I think they had a bitter divorce or something, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah, and
think
then
they
he went
did.
off to date someone else.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, they kind of made it seem like the second person that he dated, they really didn't have like a serious relationship, and then she went off to be with some dude. The way they made it seem in this YouTube video was that like after that, after seeing her go with another guy, that he did what he
Ruined
did.
him. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
that's pretty sad.
So many people take that fucking way out, bro. Even rich people, you know what I mean? It's sad.
Well,
Shit's
his
sad.
parents, I think his parents were wealthy.
I don't remember. I don't remember if his parents were wealthy. I remember I remember the French Laundry stuff that he did, which I want that cookbook really bad, just because it's literally like a book of art.
You cook the same thing every day, man.
I know. I just want
What
to
are you
look
gonna do?
at it, dude. I just want to look at it, bro. I'm not gonna make this shit.
Wait, he had a cookbook?
No, Anthony Bourdain used to work at the French Laundry, which is a very famous restaurant, and they have a cookbook called the French Laundry. That's the name
Oh,
of the
okay.
restaurant. Yeah, and it's an amazing cookbook with like all these artistic photos and shit in it. It's like a coffee table book.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I've
pretty
watched a
dope.
couple things on him. Like I know it like they said that he'd been doing, illicit things since he was, I think, a teenager. Since he was a teenager.
Yeah, haven't we all?
And
Not
like his
commander.
parents,
Not commander.
Oh, okay. I don't
what?
know her that well yet.
No, no. She doesn't even celebrate birthdays, man.
I
She
don't know. I
didn't.
was just like,
She doesn't
you
have
hear these
electricity.
stories about people, and then you're like, wow,
What? What do
Yep.
you
like
think?
he lived a full life. I feel like he had the coolest opportunities, but then again, he was probably by himself a lot.
Well, he had that show, that TV show, No Reservations, and he traveled like all over the world eating different kinds of food and shit. Yeah, he had a very kind of crazy, fulfilling life, or it looked
Well,
that way. It looked that
it
way
seemed
anyway.
it seemed that way,
Yes,
but
yes,
obviously not,
exactly.
because what happened.
Well, yeah, we all don't know how alone some people feel, no matter what they have. That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, I
The
missed
Yeah,
this
whole,
whole
because you
show.
can.
I missed this whole show, so I don't know what was spoken about.
I
I
did
kind of,
too. I didn't. Yeah.
yeah.
What do you mean, like his traveling show?
No,
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 this
this
show.
show, this show,
Yeah. What
oh,
that
the
guy
trauma
was
show.
talking about, the Fox guy was talking about mental health earlier.
Oh, oh. The Fox guy. I was
Yeah,
like,
we're talking.
Fox News? You're
No,
talking
that
about
whatever.
Melanie.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah,
Yeah, I was in and out, but yeah, I
I just
didn't
caught the
catch
end of it.
everything. But yeah, even like Anthony, like, could therapy have helped him? Probably not. Who knows? Like, what
No,
could have helped him? Like religion, God. Like, I don't know if he had
some
a religion. Maybe like something more like Buddhism, maybe.
sometimes you just have to fucking help yourself and not put it on somebody else. You have to either want to do the work or you don't.
Well, listen, this speaks to whatever Melanie was saying at the end. This
Yeah,
guy, he followed his dream. He lived out his dream, right? That didn't do
right.
jack shit for the guy. Didn't
No,
do anything for him.
no, it didn't.
Oh,
Yeah, that was literally his dream. You're right.
yeah. So,
Yeah, I
But
fucking
but
hate
but was
therapy.
it really his dream though? Because maybe he wanted the family, like the wife and the maybe he wanted it all and he couldn't have it all.
maybe.
Maybe,
Because you
maybe.
can't travel that way, and I mean you can, but sometimes marriages don't sustain all that
Well,
travel.
when you get to a level that Anthony Bourdain was at, I mean, the money and stuff, he could afford to bring his family with him if they wanted to come, like on all those trips and all those different TV
Yes,
shows and stuff like that. He could
you're right.
afford to take, yeah, I mean, he could have afforded that if he wanted it.
You are right. Well, they
Yeah.
said that he was doing that. Like when his child was small, they were all traveling with him. But as soon as the kid became like school age,
Yeah.
that the mom wanted it like more stability and keep him like that. She didn't want to travel with him anymore.
Sure, not everybody wants to be homeschooled. Somebody wants, some people want to put their kids in a normal school and let them associate with kids their own age. And I get it. I mean, I get it.
But then at that point is the beast too big to where you can't let go of that career because the
Right.
money's too much. Like you're already used to a certain lifestyle, maybe.
Well, that or unless you got a massive cocaine habit, you got to fucking pay for it every month. Some of these people do.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he
Yeah.
did or not.
Yeah,
Did
he was
he?
doing drugs. Yeah, he was a
Uh,
drinker. He was a drug user. Yeah, Anthony Bourdain. Yeah, he was a party fucking guy, man, for sure.
well, damn.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, just because you
Using a
have
toothbrush on a
money.
shower head, Baba.
Or so before you jump off, because I know you don't stay on streams long, why don't you talk about your therapy thing?
Me?
Yeah, yeah, that's what Commander wanted to hear.
What do you want to know about it? I mean, I'm an open book.
Wait,
I'll tell
sounds
you.
like Baba wants to hear this too.
No, you said it was. You said you was interesting. You wanted to hear about it.
I mean, look, it's pretty simple. All right. I,
Wait,
I,
Stoic in the chat? Is Stoic in the
I,
chat?
uh,
If you
I
I
are
think
don't.
Stoic,
so.
what up, Stoic?
Yeah.
I, uh, I was a very hyperactive and very, unbalanced kid, and like in fifth grade, my parents started, instead of dealing with me, started pawning me off on different therapists and pumping me full of medication and shit to try to calm me down and change the way that I acted. And I developed OCD from a very young age. I mean, there's stories my mom tells me about shit I would do like before I have memory of it. But I figured that out at a young age that like my parents didn't want to deal with me. They wanted someone else to deal with me. They just wanted to spend money to make the problem go away. And if they would have took the time and maybe spent some time with me and not just acted like the problem wasn't their problem, then maybe I would have, been a little bit different.
How old were
But
you?
fifth grade, so what? You're talking 11 years old, something like that, when I first started getting pumped full of all different kinds. I've been on everything from Adderall, Tegretol, Depakote, fucking Zoloft, Prozac. I mean, I could go down the list. Effexor, like, I mean, any psych
Ritalin.
med that, yeah, Ritalin, yeah, any psych
Well, did
med you
anything
can.
help? Like at least for a little bit.
No, no. I had a nervous breakdown on the drug called Paxil. I hid in the fucking bushes in front of my parents' house for like two
Oh yeah,
hours,
that's
and
strong stuff for a
yeah,
kid.
they couldn't get me out of the fucking bushes. I was scared to death, like because they gave me the wrong dosage of this shit, and it got so bad that I literally freaked the fuck out, and they had to put me into a hospital for a week, like where I did not want to go, but I was forced to go. So yeah, like
So you're
therapy.
against it. You're against medicating children.
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's a big problem in this country. We just throw medication at everything, whether it's necessary or not. Like, oh, there's a pill that can fix this, but it's got side effects. So then you got to take this pill to fix the side effects, and then da 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 da. Like, there's some. I'm not saying all medication's bad. I'm not saying some people don't legitimately need it. I'm sure some people do. But more often than not, I think a lot of things could be fixed if people would take a little time and give a shit a little bit and care a little bit and listen instead of just saying, oh, we're going to send you to a fucking stranger and let you talk to them for an hour 3 times a week and then they're going to write you a prescription. Like, that's what we do more often than not as parents, as whatever. And it's not the right way to do it, not to me anyway.
Well, as a parent, it's probably hard to know like what to say or what to do, and you think that they're the professionals, that they've studied this, they've been around a lot of children. I'm assuming it was like a pediatric therapist or something like that.
Well, let's put it this way, right? Like, so my brother passed away last year, okay? And he also had to go to some of these therapists when we were kids. He was only 1 year older than me. He didn't have to go to as many therapists as me. He wasn't as fucked up as I was, but he he had to go to a lot of them. And I remember there was literally one therapist. You got to think, I mean, I'm older, okay? I'm 44 years old. So this would have been like 1990, 1991. There was literally one therapist that had a Nintendo in the office. And my brother sat and played Nintendo for an hour every time he went into this guy's office.
Fuck, that sounds like fun. I would
Yeah, but
like that.
he didn't help. Yeah, he didn't help him. He didn't help him or talk to him about shit.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
literally went in there and put a video game in, and my brother played a video game for an hour and then kind of talked to this guy every once in a while in between games. Like, that's all he
Right.
did. That's the kind of shit that I saw growing up. So I'm not saying all therapists are bad. I'm sure some of them actually give a shit. But in my experience, no. And then the medication aspect of it, we're turning kids into fucking zombies, man. I mean, we're over medicating people to the point where they have false feelings of happiness, of sadness, of whatever. Like, you give anybody enough meds and yeah, they'll be happy, they'll be calm, they'll be docile. Like, that's not the way God made us. Like, God made me this way, fucked up or not. Like, I'm going to be who I'm going to be. You can either like it or not, but like, I'm not going to let you fill me full of fucking meds and change who I am.
Well, I think too. I mean, some meds, it can work for some people. Obviously, it has, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
I think maybe some meds can cause maybe addiction too.
Well,
Like if
yes,
you,
the Adderall thing, for instance. Let me put it to you this way. You know why a bunch of college kids, right? Like, you hear all the time that college kids have a big addiction to like Adderall and shit because they use it to stay up for like tests and to cram for school and all this shit. You've heard that, right?
yeah.
Okay. So if you legitimately have a chemical imbalance in your brain, okay, where you are like realistically diagnosed with ADD, ADHD, whatever, if you take a drug like Adderall, Ritalin, whatever, what that does is it will level you out. So if you are hyperactivity disorder or whatever, and you take something like Adderall, it will calm you down. But if you give Adderall to a kid that does not have a ADHD or anything like that, hence these college kids that I'm talking about, they speed off of it. Adderall literally says on the side of the pill, amphetamine sulfate. It's an amphetamine. Amphetamines are what they make meth out of. Methamphetamine. Amphetamine. You see what I mean?
Yeah, that's wild to give to a
So
child.
Yes. So if you give that to a college kid that does not have a chemical imbalance, what's going to happen? He's going to stay up for fucking 3 days and study for a test and whatever.
And
But then
come
he's also,
down.
yes, and he's going to become addicted to it. Then he's going to need Xanax to come fucking down off of it and go to sleep. And then you just create a cycle.
Well, I heard too,
So,
like they get it prescribed,
yes, that
right? So they
Adderall
probably
is the
go into the
most
doctor and
Adderall is the most
somehow.
prescribed medication like in the United States. Like there was a test. There's a shit ton of people that are on Adderall. I can't remember the percentage, but it's a lot. It's a lot of people. There was a shortage of Adderall at one point during COVID because so many people were on it, they could not keep up with the demand of making the pills.
Stoic, what up, 9? Rudy, what's up, 9?
So it's
Yeah,
just,
so it creates, yeah, it makes them, it does the opposite, basically,
yes.
for people
So
who are not.
yes, that is why I had a problem with drugs and with things like that, because normal people that do something like speed, it obviously speeds them if you're a normal person. But if you have a chemical imbalance and you take speed, it'll actually level you out. That's why more often than not, people with ADD, ADHD, they usually, you see these kind of people, they drink a lot of caffeine or they smoke cigarettes, nicotine, all these things that are stimulants to the brain. There's a reason for that. It
Yeah, coffee
naturally,
makes me sleepy.
yeah, there you go. There you go. That's a perfect example. So that's why cocaine was such a big fucking thing to me, because I could do a ton of that and it actually calmed me the fuck down. I was more wired without cocaine than I was with it.
Okay, don't forget TOS. Sometimes YouTube doesn't want to hear all
I
those.
got you. I can use different words. Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's just the, but that's really
Nose
how it
candy.
is. Nose can. There you go. Booger sugar.
Booger sugar.
Yeah. White
But
girl.
listen,
Actually, what we call it, white girl interrupted. White girl interrupted.
like you said, God made us the way we are. But the thing
Yes.
is, like, sometimes we need certain medications, just like we need vitamins and things that we eat. If we're insufficient with
Well,
something, like sometimes we need to take something.
yes. I mean, like I said, I have firsthand, obviously, interaction with it. Some people do, some people don't. There are people that have had success taking things like Zoloft and things like that for depression or Prozac. That's fine. But in my experience, and because of how I was introduced to it, I just have a big problem with it. And I see, because I was forced to go to so many different therapists and so many different whatever, whether there was a male therapist or a female, uh, more often than not, they don't care. They're there for a paycheck. They're just going to let you talk for an hour and then get you out of their office so they can get the next person in there, and you don't really get any help. And the help should be coming at home from your parents, from the people that love you, the people that brought you into this world. They should not be pawning you off on strangers to deal with the problem.
I play devil's
Yeah,
advocate
definitely. Or
though. It depends on. I mean, a lot of parents don't have the tools to help them. So in
That's
those
yes.
cases, in those cases, it can be vital for them to have professional help. And when it comes to professional help, it boils down to whether you're able to do something with the help. Now, obviously, when you're talking about somebody that's not even an adult, it's a little more complex, and that's why I
Yeah.
think if you're gonna have a kid in therapy, then you're gonna have to get involved. It's to some degree, right?
Right.
I
And
agree with that.
here's the other thing. I was, like I said, I'm 44 years old. The 90s were a very different time. There was no high-speed internet. There was no way to vet these people before you went to see them. Like a lot of stuff was from word of mouth, stuff like that. So I'm sure
And
in today's world,
also, Jax, you're in Ohio. Keep that in mind too.
yes. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm in a very small town. And more often than not, Baba, when I went to these therapists, they all weren't local. Some of them, yes, I um, did have to, go. I remember when I first got my driver's license, Point Pleasant, West Virginia is just across the bridge from me. It's about an hour away. And when I first got my license at 16, I had to drive myself to a therapist in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, by myself at 16, driving over like an hour away to go talk to this therapist who was a female, which was, it doesn't matter, and It was just a constant cycle of this shit. So when I turned 18 and they couldn't force me to do this shit anymore, I told them, whether you like it or not, like, I'm not doing this. I'm not taking any more meds. I'm done. I'll figure it out on my own. And I did, for better or worse.
Well, listen, you were a good 16-year-old because I feel like even at 16, you could say, no, I'm not driving myself there. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
What would happen? What do you think would happen to you if you were
What
to
would have
just be
happened to me?
defiant and say, I'm not going?
They would have locked me up again in a mental facility. Like I said, when I had a breakdown off Paxil, they would have forced me
Okay,
or
so
called. Yeah, that's exactly what would have
that's
happened,
a
because
good incentive.
that's the kind of parents I
Don't
had.
want to do
You know what I
that.
mean?
Yeah.
I love my mom and dad very much, but they were ill equipped to deal with someone like me, and they didn't know what the fuck to do. So they were, instead of trying to get educated and learn how to deal with me, again, they just pawned it off on other people. And I don't hate them for it. I just hate the things that I had to go through. I don't hate my parents. They did the best they could. But it is what it is. But yeah, no, so I had to do it, and I thought it's better to be able to drive myself and have some freedom and have a car at 16 than be locked up in a fucking hospital. So I went to the therapy appointments.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with Baba. I think it should be a combination, like you're saying, like have your parents do whatever they can at home, and then also
Yes.
maybe some therapy or whatever else like a combination of things, right? Because
Yes.
there's not just one fix all.
No, there's not. And like I said, for the person that was on here talking earlier about art and therapy and whatever, Melanie Fox, if that is something that helped him, or I don't know what pronoun, or if he uses one, or him or her, or whatever he goes by, but if it did, that's great, man. Listen, if you found something that works for you, that's great. It just, for me, it was a horrible experience, and I would never want to put my child through what I had to go through. I mean, if it taught me anything, it taught me that.
Yeah, and I think with the internet now too, like there's like you can like parents can research things, like talk to other parents. Like
Yeah,
there's
that's
maybe
yeah.
more that they can do on their own
Yes, there's more of a
versus
community
back
now
then.
versus, yeah, the 90s were fucked. I mean, you got to realize my generation, right? I'll be 45 years old this year. My generation is the last generation that will ever know what it was like to grow up without internet. Any generation from now going forward will always have high speed internet. My generation was the last one to know what it was like before dial up internet, and then dial up, and then high speed, and then so I saw it all come to fucking fruition.
Yeah, there's so much you can learn on the internet, and then I'm always surprised when people don't go to the internet to find answers.
Yeah, and
Like
it
it's
was,
right
like I
there.
said,
It's right there. Everything should be right there.
yes, and it was a very different place back then. Like I said, you learned. My parents probably got recommendations from other parents, friends of theirs, things like that. I don't know how they found these doctors that I went to back then. I was a kid. I mean, I don't remember how they found all this shit, but they did somehow. So,
I mean, sometimes even myself, I'll forget, and then I'm like, oh wait, I can look this up. I can
yeah, yeah.
I can research this stuff.
The internet is one of those kind of things that can be used to build you up, or it can destroy you. It depends on how you want to use it. It can be used to build or destroy. And that goes for people, places, and things.
Yeah,
You
because you
can
can
use,
also run into bad information.
yeah, you can use it as a tool for information and learn how to fix your own car. You can do all kinds of positive things with it, or you can use the internet for nefarious shit, and it can destroy you. I mean, it's just one or the other.
Now people go down the rabbit hole with like the WebMDs and like self-diagnose and things like
Oh my
that.
God, yes. Listen, if you have a stomach ache right now, and I tell you to go on WebMD, within an hour you can convince yourself that you've got cancer. If you look at, I mean,
For
for real.
sure.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? If I let you go and be like, here, go in there and look up your symptoms, you'll go down and in an hour you'll be like, I've got stomach cancer, I'm dying. No, you're not.
And
You know
the
what I
thing
mean?
is,
But
like, so many symptoms like mimic different
yes,
diseases that
yes,
yeah.
they do. Yes,
But I've
that's.
literally seen a doctor go on his phone and like Google stuff in front of me,
I believe it.
and I'm
Yeah, I
like,
believe it.
okay, I could have done that.
Well, yeah, you just can't
But
write yourself
obviously,
a prescription when you're done.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
and like I said,
That's true.
I'm a cancer survivor, so I've beat it twice now, and it's there's a lot of side effects and things like that that go along with not just cancer but the treatment of it, and so yeah. But WebMD, places like that, you can convince yourself you're dying within an hour. Like if you
Well, and
really if
it's
you
yeah,
yeah.
and it depends on the doctor you get, because like sometimes people should switch. Try to find a better doctor, or even therapists. I feel like people have to go through several till they find one that fits.
Yes, yes.
Because there's a lot of therapists that need help themselves.
Sure. Yeah, there's therapists that go to other therapists. Like when you mention that, I think of the show The Sopranos. You remember you know, Tony Soprano's female therapist in the show. She had a therapist that she would go to and talk to about having to see a mob boss as a patient. Like that's what that makes me think of.
Yeah, I met a therapist that I thought like, wait, whose therapy session is this? Is it
Yeah, yours
yours
or
or
theirs.
mine,
Yeah,
or like what's
yeah,
going on? Like
yeah.
you're
For
more
real.
you're more messed up than I am. Yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't feel good. It's like, nah, I think I need to change.
No, we
I need a
just but
different
the
therapist.
the real solid truth about all of it is we live in a society now full of a lot of really soft, really spineless, like fucking people. They have no backbone. They can't handle anything. Like you see it online every day. People that get pulled over by the police for speeding, and they're like having a mental breakdown over a fucking speeding ticket. I've got anxiety issues. I can't help it. I don't want to get out of the car, and they're shaking. Like, grow the fuck up. Just take the ticket and leave. Like, I mean,
To
it's
take the ticket.
you know, you know what I mean? Like this shit has gotten way out of fucking hand. Everybody claims that they have anxiety now. Everybody claims they can't handle anything. They can't. You have to do this. You have to treat them a certain way. Like, grow the fuck up, man. The world's a nasty place. You need to get a little backbone. You need to grow up a little bit.
I think everybody does have like some sort of, I mean, some sort of anxiety or some sort of situation they run into where obviously you're not going to feel perfect all the time. There's some
No, but
things
that's
that are going to create some anxiety in your life. It's normal.
Yeah, and it's good. You want to know why? Because if you can push through it, when you come out the other side of it, you feel vindicated. You feel like you accomplished something. But if every time something gets hard and you just want to curl up in a little ball like a bitch, like a fucking little fetus rocking back and forth in the corner, then yeah, then you got more problems than I can help you
But
Oh,
now there's
you're
people
the
that have
next Tony
panic
Robbins,
attacks.
man. You're like Tony Robbins over here.
Tony Robbins.
Bro.
He's healing all of us.
Dude,
Yes.
listen, I'm not
He's
I'm not
whipping us
Tony
into shape.
I'm not Tony Robbins in the elevator with Jack Black on that fucking movie
Thank you,
where you
Gary.
know what I mean? What's that movie with Jack Black when he dates all the fat girls? What's the name of that movie?
Oh,
I
yes, I know which one. It's
forget.
like Shallow Hal or something like
That's
Shallow
that.
it.
Hal, yeah.
That's it.
He's in the fucking he's in the elevator with Jack Black, and he puts his hand on his head and he's like, "Devils, come out!" Fucking Tony Robbins in there. He shakes his hand. He's like, "What are you doing, banana hands?"
Ooh, so what do you guys think about hypnotherapy?
Fuck that. What kind of foo-foo
I
bullshit are
think
you talking about?
it can be helpful. I've seen it help
Really?
people. Yeah.
I know
Okay.
somebody that helped them.
Yeah,
Like,
and it
I
helps a
saw
lot of
it.
people. Oh yeah.
If you trust someone enough to put you in a psychosis type state and then fucking have access to your deeper fucking thoughts, like I go ahead.
I know a guy who wanted to quit smoking and wake up early, and it worked for him. I don't know how long it worked for him, but
Well,
I think I would be scared to do it.
yes, exactly. You want to let someone get up in your head and rattle around up there when you're kind of in a half conscious state, knowing what's going on. Like, I don't know if I would trust someone to do that.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of scamming probably, but
Yes, yes.
there's
I
probably
mean,
some. I mean, I've seen it help people, so I know it works.
okay.
But you have
I
to
mean,
be open to suggestions. Someone like you, Jackson, it would never work on you.
no, I wouldn't be able to relax enough to let it work. You're 100% correct. You're
Yeah.
100% correct. But I mean, speaking of smoking, dude, this is 9 months now that I haven't had a cigarette, and I smoked 2 packs a day from the time I was 18 years old, and so
Whoa.
I quit 9 months ago using fucking toothpicks and Zen pouches. Like you can do anything if you want to do it. If you mentally want to do it, you can do it.
Wait,
But
toothpicks?
you're still
Oh, because
using
a toothpick in your mouth.
pouches though, right?
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, I use Zen pouches, which is just nicotine. There's no tobacco in it. But I haven't lit a cigarette or had any kind of smoke inhalation whatsoever in 9 months.
What's a Zen pouch? Is that like
So
what is that?
Paper pouch
everybody,
with nicotine.
yeah,
Wait, what?
it's a little pouch that you can go to the store and buy. It comes in a can. It's spelled ZYN, and it's basically just nicotine salts and flavoring. You put it in your mouth, and it goes into the blood vessels in your mouth. So it's an alternative to like help
It's
you get off
it's like
cigarettes.
chewing tobacco, but it's some people use it as an alternative, but most people that use it, they use it to use it.
But
Right,
chewing tobacco is like they spit and it's kind of like
Yeah, with
right.
this you
So
don't have to spit.
yeah, there's no tobacco in a Zen pouch. It is literally just nicotine salts and flavoring. So there's no tobacco in it. There's no other chemicals in it. And I've actually talked to my dentist about it, and it does not erode the gums or stain my teeth or anything like that. So with those Zen pouches, and there's a company, another company I found called Zippix, Zippix, and they make nicotine toothpicks for people that want to quit smoking. These are oversized wooden toothpicks that have 3 milligrams of nicotine in each toothpick. So with the toothpicks and these Zen pouches, I was able to quit smoking cigarettes, and I still haven't had one.
So what's the plan? Is the plan to wean yourself off these tablet thingies?
Oh, the
These
pouches?
pouches? The pouches?
Eventually,
Never.
probably. Eventually,
Never.
maybe, but for now, no. I'm good. Like I found something for now that works. Like let's put it this way:
Better
a
than
pa-
smoking.
I was smoking 2 packs of Camel filters a day. All right, that's a ten. The Camel filters are $10 a pack. That's $20 a day that I was spending on cigarettes. That's $140 a week. These little Zen pouches that we're talking about, those things are $4 and like 50 cents a can, and there's like 17 pouches in a can. I couldn't do a whole can a day if I wanted to. It'd blow my fucking head off. Like there's no way. Too much nicotine. So
So what, like a
it's
couple pouches a day? Two,
I would say
three?
no, I would say six, probably six a day, six a day. But and so a can of Zen lasts me almost 3 days versus 1 pack of cigarettes that lasted me half a day.
What flavor do you like, Jax?
Coffee,
Oh,
coffee's in. They have
I
and they
like
taste like
I
a
like the
taste like a
smooth
latte.
ones. I like the
Yeah,
smooth
those
ones.
aren't bad. Those aren't
The
bad.
problem is they don't sell them anywhere. Everybody
They
wants
do it.
flavor.
They do at my Speedway. They got a shitload of them.
Oh,
The
yeah.
smooth 3 milligram and 6 milligram. They got them there.
Hmm.
Wait, how long have these been out? Like I've
Oh,
only heard
a
of them
long
right
time.
now.
They sponsor
Well,
all these.
years.
Yeah, they sponsor all these different podcasts, and there's not just one brand. Zen is like the top brand of these nicotine pouches, but there's a lot of other companies that make them as well. There's a company called Velo, Velo. They make them. There's what's the other company, Bob, that makes the small ones?
On.
On, yeah, ONN. There's a company called On that makes 8 milligram coffee flavored nicotine pouches plus a bunch of other flavors. So there's a lot of companies that make them. It's like the new thing. I know plenty of girls that do them instead of smoking cigarettes.
See, but I've heard people say that they like the inhaling and exhaling
Yes, and
part of it.
I was one of those people, but with
You never
again,
smoke, Commander?
So shouldn't I? Yeah, I have. But shouldn't they make something like that that's like maybe just for those people?
they
They
do. It's
do.
called
It's
a
called vapes.
yeah, it's called a vape, and that's worse for you than smoking a real cigarette. Those
Oh,
vape
well,
pens and
vapes.
all, yeah, vapes are fucking terrible, dude. That's taking water vapor, right? Vape is basically water vapor with all the other chemicals in it. And then you go outside in the winter to hit your vape pen and you're putting water vapor in your lungs and breathing in cold air. Do you know what that means? That's how you create pneumonia.
You're gonna freeze.
Yeah,
I'm just
but
gonna
you're
say,
also
like, it's annoying to see people with their vapes, and it's like there's people that always have them like on their lip,
yes,
like they can't live without puffing
yes.
on their vape.
They're Puff the Magic Dragon, man. They're blowing out giant fucking clouds of smoke. You see it coming out of their fucking car window like the damn car's on fire. Like, you just do less, bro. Like, you're doing too much. just, but it helped me. I was able to quit smoking, and I feel a lot fucking better. I smoked from the age of 18 until last year, and that shit works, and it's saves a bunch of money. So Zen pouches worked. It helped me.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Why'd you
So
quit smoking, Commander?
Pretty good.
Are you still on the patches?
What's that?
Are you still on the patches?
Oh, the patches?
no, I never did the patches. No, I just do the pouches, and I chew gum. I chew a lot of bubble gum instead of like using toothpicks all the time or whatever. I do those Zen pouches, and I chew a lot of gum. Regular gum, not nicotine gum, just regular bubble gum.
That seems like a lot more work than quitting cold turkey.
No, it's actually not bad. I mean, I'm a fidgety person anyway, so having like a ritual, put a Zen pouch in, chew a piece of gum, I like that kind of stuff anyway. I'm a ritualistic kind of person, I like having little things like that, but it's a lot better than smoking, man. I'm telling you.
I quit cold turkey. Fuck that.
My clothes don't smell like smoke anymore. My house doesn't fucking smell like smoke, and I have to clean up ashtrays all the time. Like, it's just better.
I just think it's annoying to have to be addicted to something, to always have it. It's like, I don't know, it seems annoying.
It is.
It is
I mean,
annoying.
yeah, it
Who
is.
drinking the coffee, yo? They got me feeling like we're in the movie
Just like
Get Out.
coffee.
I love coffee, damn it.
Yeah, but somebody got me feeling like we're in the movie Get Out. Which one of y'all is trying to hypnotize us?
Nice
You guys,
reference.
you guys know who worked in doing hypnotism? Kieran, the oi oi oi, the
No
Aussie guy.
way. That can't be true.
Yeah, he told us
Really?
about it several times on here. Yeah.
Oh
Are you
shit.
sure he was telling the truth?
I mean, it sounded legit.
Is that the guy? Is that the guy that also he calls his profile "old mate" or something like that?
Yeah, I
Yes.
think so.
Okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Gotcha.
So now it makes sense. Everything makes sense now. That's why he was so activated by your voice. He's really in
Oh,
tune. He's really in tune with the voice, Commander.
uh-oh.
Ooh. Oh.
Ladies first.
Nah,
Ladies first.
I don't think so. But that was interesting.
She said, "I don't
It
think
sounded,
so." She said, "I don't
it
think so, bro."
sounded legit though. Like, I
Okay.
don't know, writers, were you here when he was talking about that? He was talking a word about that.
Sounds like some foo-foo shit.
I believe him. I believe him.
Okay.
I don't know why he stopped doing it, but
That sounds like some new agey fucking foo-foo shit to me, but all right.
yeah, and he kind of doesn't seem to buy into the foo-foo stuff either, but
Okay.
That
I
doesn't
may
make
be
any
he has
wrong.
good
sense.
money.
I think that's a
Yeah.
cover story.
Oh,
A cover story for what, though?
Bob is always the
Yeah.
skeptic, man.
We
He's the
won't know.
skeptic.
We got to find
Yeah, we
out.
don't know what he's trying to do. Yeah, we don't know.
He's hiding something.
Uh-huh. There you go. Get him. Get him. Oh my God, my
I mean,
shower head looks so clean now. I'm so fucking happy about this.
You might be
the
right,
way that
Otto.
he talks, I just don't see it.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Is it?
sometimes people surprise you.
That's true. People underestimate me all the time. It's very
Now
true.
we gotta think about it. But it did sound legit when he was talking about it. It
Well,
seemed like it's not something that he typically shares.
Oh,
okay.
really?
Yeah, it seemed like that because I kind of got the feeling it's not something he typically shares.
Right.
But he talked about it at least a
Get your
couple
ass up
times.
here. Get your ass up here, Stoic.
Stoic, what up? Hit the link. Hit the link.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be bouncing here in a minute. I gotta go to, like I said, the doctor tomorrow, which I'm not looking forward to.
All right, old man.
I know,
Good
dude.
luck at the doctor.
It's a fucking hour and a half drive, and it fucking sucks. I wish I lived in the city. It'd be easier.
You got cruise control now, man. Just hit the cruise control.
Dude, Baba, this fucking car is a spaceship, bro. It's the fucking Starship Enterprise. All right, that truck was like driving a wheelbarrow compared to this
Yeah.
fucking thing. Yeah, yeah. This car's the shit, bro. I love this fucking thing.
Did you guys see how the floods picked up big trucks and houses and swept them away?
I didn't
Those,
see it. I heard
yeah, that
about it.
was. There's a YouTube channel that I follow called Normal Guy Supercar. He's like he does. I'm a car guy, so he does like Ferraris and all this kind of shit. He lives in the part of Texas that got a bunch of that water, and it destroyed his business. And he had like 8 Ferraris in his garage that all got water damaged and like full of water and all this shit. It's pretty crazy if you look it up on YouTube. But yeah, and he didn't even get the worst of it, like compared to some other people. But it fucked up his whole business.
Was he in Texas?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about
He's
the
in
Texas
Texas.
flood?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, New Mexico is also flooding, and I don't know if it's a big area, but
Right.
Ruidoso. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but they got floods, and then they were saying Dallas had some flash flood warnings for today.
Yeah, yeah. They're not equipped for that shit. That's like when Texas got snow. Remember that last year when Texas got all that snow and they lost power
Yeah, that
for
was
like
terrible.
they're not equipped to handle that shit because it's sunny, just like in California, like pretty much 95% of the year. So anytime they get any inclement weather, the whole fucking state just freaks out. It shuts down.
Well, they also lost power, not in the snow, but they lost power in the heat. I think it was last year
Yes. Yes, it was.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're correct. Yes.
yeah. I mean,
That
I
shit's
get
crazy.
those warnings, those flash flood warnings, but nothing ever happens. So those are kind of like a joke. You know, we get them and we're like,
Right.
whatever. But it
Yeah,
can totally happen,
it can.
especially if you have like, if it's dry or like fire has hit the hills, the mountains, like all that's gonna rush down. What's up, 755? Yeah, the flood is destructive. That was crazy. I just don't understand like how there's like different parts getting flooded. I think they were talking about some other state as well, all in these last couple days.
It's been a
And
lot,
then
yeah.
did you guys hear about the fireworks plant that blew up?
I saw
No.
the video.
You saw the video? I
Yeah,
saw a video too. But
yeah.
what state was that? Where did
Well,
that
I
happen?
didn't.
the one I saw was in Spain or something. I don't think it was.
Oh,
I don't know where it was, like a factory or something, right?
Yeah, it was a factory. I thought that was here in the States.
I
The
thought it
whole
was in.
thing is just like leveled.
Yeah, maybe we saw something. Saw different videos.
No, it had to have been the one that just happened. Maybe it was
Hey,
Spain. I thought.
Commander, what do you think about the ice raids now? You still feel the same?
Yeah, I
uh-oh.
still feel the same. Yeah. The only thing
Uh-oh.
I don't agree with is, but I mean, it's always going to happen, right? Because it's law enforcement, is some of the things that, like the way they're going about some things.
But what
But
about the
yeah,
quotas? The quotas now they basically are just going crazy to fill these quotas. What do you think about that?
oh, I didn't know they had quotas.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Would they have to like deport X amount of people per day or?
yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I didn't think they were gonna like go wild like that. Like, in the beginning they were like focusing on people who had like something criminal, right? And then whoever was
Mhm.
around them that didn't have their papers, they would take them too. And then
Trump's a
now they're
wild
just
boy.
they're wilding out.
Trump's a wild boy.
I saw this they took this mom in this neighborhood in I don't know if it was Boston, but they sounded like they were like Brazilian maybe. And then you
Yeah.
see everybody in the neighborhood, like the whole neighborhood came out and they were like trying to stop the agents. Most of the people were like Caucasian looking. And they were like,
Hmm.
"Don't take the mother, don't take the mother." And I'm like, "What the why that's wild, blocking the cars." Like,
Yeah.
that's not going to stop them. You guys are just looking like crazy people out there. Going
Oh,
to get
they'll
hurt and
always find a
arrested.
way. Yeah, they'll always find a way to come over. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've also heard they've taken some people in that they've had to release, and they've been, they keep them there for like 20 days or longer or a week, and really they
Mm.
should have never been in there that long.
Right.
And the conditions, okay, they talked about the conditions are really bad in these
Oh
facilities.
yeah, of
Like, I
course.
don't think they're equipped to take in that many people.
Nope.
Mm. That's like overcrowding at the local county jail. They do that shit here.
Yeah, that part I think is wrong.
Yeah, they got fucking people on the floor in the jail with mats on the floor. They ain't got enough cells.
Yeah, or food.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, that is
And then
correct.
sending people to El Salvador. How do you guys feel about not deporting people to their country, but putting them in a totally different country?
That's pretty
No, they
fucking
should.
crazy if you ask me.
Yeah, they should say if they're going to do anything, they should send them back to their country of origin. Like if you can't, if you're not going to let them stay here, send them back home to where at least somewhere they're familiar with.
The thing
I
is, they're
mean,
snatching up people just based on the way they look.
I
And
believe it. Yeah.
you got to go through, even if you have proof. Like, and what do you got to do? Like, if you look like an illegal, now you got to carry your passport all the time. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I don't even have a passport.
gotta carry your stuff now,
Yeah.
because you never know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I couldn't even get one though until like last year, so maybe I need to get one.
The real ID, I don't have that. The real ID where you have to show your birth certificate and
You
all
can't
that to
fly
get it.
then.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a passport, but I don't have
Oh,
that.
then you're fine.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
a passport.
Yeah, they have that new thing that they offer at the DMV where when you renew your driver's license, like you can pay extra to get this thing that'll scan on the back of your license now, so you can skip the line at whatever when you go to fly, whatever TSA check in or some
Mhm.
shit. There's something that you can get now. Yeah, I didn't do it, but they offer it. They do offer it.
Well, what do you think, Baba? You think they'd pick you up? You think you look
Nah,
suspicious? You look like an
nope.
immigrant?
I sound too
No.
white. Listen to me. I
I
live
can
in.
tell you. I can tell you all. I look just like my fucking avatar. Baba can vouch for that.
Hey, but they picked up this guy who I think he's from Texas. He has no accent. You know, he's wearing the whole cowboy hat and everything, and they took him in.
And
Mm,
he was a citizen too.
No, I don't think he was. No.
Oh well.
He wasn't a
wow.
citizen, but they stopped him somehow.
Yeah, the
Damn.
scary thing is they're talking about getting rid of what is it called, birthright citizenship or whatever. That's pretty crazy.
Well, see, I don't get into all that shit, man.
Yeah, birthright citizenship. I don't
That's
know.
a
I think that's going too far.
that's above my pay grade, bro. I'm just a small cog in a giant wheel like the rest of us. I don't get into all that shit because there's nothing I can do about it.
Well, then, too, like, okay, so let's say they deport a mother who's had 2 children here in the States. So the mother gets deported. Do the kids get to go with her? Like, does the mother have a choice, or are the children gonna go to like
Well,
CPS or
both ways are fucked up, right? Like, so what? Now they got to go. They got to go with
they
the
gotta go
mother,
with mom?
Yeah,
and if they don't go, that's fucked up too. So
yeah,
I think the mom should have a choice to take her kids with her.
yes.
yeah,
Because having kids go to the state, that's not good.
No, once you get in the system, any way, shape, or form, whether that's you know the foster care system, the criminal system, like it's a motherfucker to get out of it. Any
I
kind of way.
Or,
do. Go ahead.
oh, go ahead, Baba.
No, I was just gonna say with the birthright thing, it doesn't make sense if you're not a citizen and you have a kid here that they're automatically a citizen. That actually doesn't make sense to me. But if your parents are citizens and you're first generation, they're even talking about doing something with that. And it's like, how far back are you going to go? You have to have been here like for generations before it counts anymore. I mean, what are we
Mm,
talking about?
right.
What do you mean the parent has citizenship? Like
Yeah.
the
So
parent
like
wasn't
if
born in
so
America,
if
but
you if
they
you
were
don't
able to
have
get their citizenship.
Yeah, if you don't have citizenship right now and the kid is born here, then they become a citizen, right? But the parents aren't
Oh,
citizens.
right.
Well,
So
I don't
So
think they don't automatically become citizens. They still have
I,
to
they
wait till their
the
child's
kids
a
do,
certain
the
age
kids
to
do.
apply.
Oh,
The
really?
kids do, yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
the
the
parent
kids
has
do.
to wait.
Oh
But
yeah,
they
the
would
parents
typically
wait.
not. They wouldn't deport the parent. Typically, they wouldn't.
what are they giving
Right.
them, a temporary fucking visa to be a parent in America?
I don't know, but they weren't taking those people, those parents. That's why they had their anchor
Wow.
babies.
Right.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
What Baba's saying is like they could take away your citizenship. Like if you were a naturalized citizen,
Right.
right? You got your green card, then you got your citizenship. They could take it away from you. Damn.
That would be crazy.
Because some
Yeah.
people join the military to get their citizenship.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I wish I could have went, man,
I don't
to the
agree with that.
military.
Well, the military has its good and bad.
Hey,
I
Commander,
just
has Isaac been back?
Hold on. No. From that one night
From that one
with the
time when
lady,
yeah.
no, I don't think either one of them have been back. You know, I actually
Oh,
thought
really?
about that. I thought about Isaac, and I felt bad.
Yeah, it's a shame.
I don't know who that is.
Isaac just found us one day and joined the panel, and he was talking about, what do you call it, Baba?
Psychedelic experiences.
Psychedelics.
Oh,
Yeah.
like mushrooms and shit? Okay.
He was talking
Yeah.
about like his experiences with it, and
Hmm.
he'd come and visit us. But the last time he was on, we had another person that came up who was very
Shut him
passionate about.
down.
She was very passionate. It wasn't the topic, but she just felt so passionate about it that she wanted to say, hey, that's not it's not a therapeutic thing. It's like people shouldn't promote it because it can be detrimental to people.
Well, let me tell you what's wild. Like on Facebook now, and I didn't search it, right? It just pops up in my feed, like as a recommendation. But you can legally now get small doses of ketamine mailed to your house because they're using ketamine to treat like psychosis. So it keeps
Ketamine,
popping
isn't
up.
that horse tranquilizer stuff?
That's what it's best known for. It is a horse tranquilizer. The street name for it, they call it Special K. Like it's
That's the
being
stuff that
used.
Kensington, right? All the people in Kensington
Yeah,
are
it's being used
using.
now. Well, they use it in small doses to treat like anxiety and all this kind of shit. And you can get it now legally. Like there's
What?
literally, yeah, it's crazy. Like there's a thing that keeps popping up in my feed on Facebook where you have to apply for this thing. You go online to the website and do all this stuff, but it comes in this little box and they're these little square cubes. They look about the size of a sugar cube. And each one of them is a dose, and you put it in between your lip and gum and let it dissolve, and it's a small dose of ketamine. And it even reads out the side effects on the, like what it can do to you. It can cause psychosis, it can cause all that shit. Like you can trip the fuck out on it.
Yeah, we're not
But they're
promoting it
using
or
it.
giving medical advice. I don't know
No, no,
where
no,
those
no.
people are getting that mailed from. Because I've heard
Yeah.
people get, like, they order stuff from other countries, even,
Yeah, that's
like
true. I don't know what country this one is in.
medications.
Yeah, I don't
That's wild.
but it's showing up
What up,
lately in my
Missing
Facebook.
Mod?
I
Missing
just
Mod
thought
is
that
in the
was
chat.
Missing Mod. There's another channel you can check out, Jax. Missing Mod.
Missing Mod. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's cool. Have you guys heard of Kratom? It's like a natural.
Oh yeah, fuck all that
Yeah.
shit. That
Bad
shit's
stuff.
terrible.
Bad stuff.
Bad stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why, have you
That
tried
shit
it?
can be more
No,
addicting than heroin.
no, but this girl, she opened up a shop and then I don't know how long it lasted, but she had to shut it down. And she had I think a couple of different shops. She said she was doing really
Really?
well, but then I think they shut her down.
Wow.
She was I think she was selling it like in a tea form and like different forms.
That shit's nasty.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Some people like it, but there was a YouTuber, her and her husband were taking that, and they were also doing what's the alkaline, the Dr. Seb diet, and you could see they went from looking normal to like
Mm-hmm.
you could see the change. Like,
Looking like some
bro,
wild boys.
they were, whoa, it really changed them, and they could not see it.
No,
They
you
just
usually,
would not
yeah.
accept it. They would
I
not
believe it.
accept that they were looking unhealthy.
I believe it, man. Fuck. All right. I'm gonna have to force myself to do this shit. What time is it? Hang on a minute. Oh, it's 4:30. Fuck.
Good
All
night.
right. Yeah. Oh, I ain't going to bed, but I'm gonna finish this shit up, and then I'm gonna have to. So if I didn't have to run up there tomorrow, I got to do it though.
Yeah.
I'm picking up my new rims tomorrow too, Baba.
Oh yeah, what'd you get?
No, the factory ones. Like I got the dealership.
Oh,
The dealership like owned up to the shit that they promised, and
yeah.
they gave me a $1,400 credit at the parts department, and so I added some cash with it, and I got 4 brand new factory rims from Lexus.
Man, you're set now.
Yeah, and I got new TPMS sensors. I got new mounting kit for it, whatever. I got new center caps. I just got to take my tires and put them on the new rims, and then I'll sell the rims, the old rims that are on my car. I'll sell those on like eBay and get some of my money back.
Nice.
Yeah, but I got to pick them all up tomorrow. So I'm taking mom's fucking Mini Cooper, bro. I'm taking the Mini Cooper country. I'm taking the Mini Cooper Countryman, bro, because the back seat folds down, right? Like I can't put 4 brand new rim boxes in my fucking Lexus. They won't fit. So they're going
Right.
in they're going in the
Wait,
tennis
but
U
they
with
fit in
wheels.
the little Cooper?
Yeah, well, and my mom's got the 4-door Mini Cooper, the 4-door one. It's called a Countryman. It's not like a regular size little 3-door hatchback. It's the bigger one, and the back
So the
seat
seats
folds.
fold?
Yeah, the back seat folds all the way flat, and there's a shit ton of room back there, so I can put
Nice.
4 rim boxes back there, like sitting, stacked up or whatever. And so yeah, because they won't fit in my car. It's not that I don't want to put them in my car. I would if they would fit, but the trunk on that Lexus is not very big.
Are they heavy rims?
I mean, they're
The
not
car's
bad.
gonna be struggling.
No. It's they're like 18-inch rims. I'd say each one probably weighs 25 pounds or something like that. So you're looking at maybe 100 pounds.
Okay, it's
They're
like a
aluminum.
person. It's like
Yeah, they're
having another
aluminum.
person in the car.
Right, they're aluminum rims. So it's not like they're made out of steel or something that's really fucking heavy. I mean, they're aluminum rims in the boxes that they shipped in, and then I've got another little box full of hardware and shit like that. But
And then
I
you're
just got
supposed to install it yourself?
no. I'll take them. I don't have a tire mounting system. No, I got to take them to my tire guy and have him mount and balance the tires on them. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So then after that, yeah, you just jack the car up and take the old ones off, put the new ones on, and bolt the lug nuts on, and you're good to go. And then I can just sell the old rims on eBay once I clean them up, get some of my money back. So I'm excited, man.
Nice.
I've been waiting like 3 months to get the dealership to fucking like cough up the dough for what they did. So I
Good.
finally
That's
got,
good.
I got their ass. I made them pay.
Did you have to be a Karen about it?
Oh, absolutely.
You went full Karen on them?
I went full. Oh, I'm full fucking Karen. Yeah. Listen, man. If you would, this is a 5-star rated Lexus dealer. Okay, in Columbus, Ohio. They
Yeah, they got the
supposedly.
money.
Well, not only that, but they supposedly have this outstanding customer service and all this bullshit. And I went and bought a car from them, and from beginning to like now, it's been fucked. And I had to go see the sales manager, and I just told the guy, like, look, you're lying to me. I know you're lying. Here's what's going on. I showed him the car, and eventually he fucking basically admitted to it and gave me, like I said, a credit at the parts department, and I went and paid the difference, and now it's taken care of.
Nice. Good for you. Now you have to give them a 5-star review.
Yeah. I mean,
Customer
maybe.
service.
Yeah, the sales manager was actually a cool guy. The guy that I bought the car from, he was a little bitch. Like he was somebody that like you ever seen the movie Fast and the Furious where the guy's like, "Oh, congratulations, you can read the brochure." Like that's what my salesman was like. He didn't know fuck all about cars. He had just read the fucking like the statistics about the car that I was wanting to buy. He didn't know shit about cars. He wasn't a car guy.
He was
So,
a
but
sales guy.
yeah, yeah, and that's the
He was
way
a
all these.
closer.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, coffee's for closers, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So,
cool. At least you got your rims.
yeah, man, I'm stoked about that shit. I've been waiting like 3 months to get this taken care of. Like, I'm excited about it. So, it'll look good once I get it all like, I mean, put together the way I want it and all that shit. It's a good car. It just needs a couple little things here and there, and like I'll make it. I'll make it into what I know it can be. So it's I'm excited about it.
You gonna tint the windows?
Yeah, I already did. Yeah, the dealership did it when I bought the car.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they have a company down the street from the dealership that does all their window tint and shit like that. If you want it when you buy a car from them, so I added that into the purchase price of the car, and so when I picked the car up, they already tinted the windows and all that. So other than that, I'm just going to fix the few other little things. There's a couple scuff marks on the paint, shit like that, and then it'll be good to go.
Well, I saw a Mercedes I liked. I took a picture
Hell,
of it. I
Which
Google
one?
searched it. I don't know the model. I just like quickly did a little Google search. It was like 180,000, and I was like, damn.
oh fuck.
I could buy a few cars with
Probably
180,000.
the
Well,
AMG GT.
yeah, the price of new cars is fucking crazy, especially yeah.
It was like an electric car because it was
Oh,
hooked up to
electric.
the
Okay.
yeah. Because
Oh,
I saw it in the parking lot and it was like hooked up to the electric charge.
well, it could have been a hybrid or something. Yeah, but aren't there a lot of credits and shit available if you go hybrid? Can't you get a lot of money back if you buy one of those?
I don't know, but
Yeah, but she would need
close to
like
200,000.
she would need like 180 grand off to get
Well, yeah,
Give me
yeah.
80 grand off.
Yeah.
Well, and listen, I mean, you guys don't know me that well yet, but let me preface this by saying I'm not like some rich guy. Like I bought a Lexus, but it was used. Okay, like I'm not out here buying brand new Lexuses and shit. I'm not rolling like that. So I wish I could,
Yeah,
but
we
no.
believe you.
Yeah, I wish. Yeah, I believe me. You don't want me to hit the lottery. that'd be
We
that'd be
believe
like,
you.
yeah. I'm a low ghetto. I know.
I just thought with 180 I could buy a few cars
I
that
mean,
price, but it's not gonna be
you.
a
Yeah,
Mercedes.
you could.
It's
You
not gonna be
could, but
that Mercedes.
the reason I wanted a Lexus is because it's a fancy Toyota, and Toyotas are fucking bulletproof. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, those are
reliability.
good cars. Yeah.
You're right, and a Lexus is just a fancy Toyota. I mean, so that's why I went that route because I knew it was a well-built car, and it was a one-owner car. So like that's why I went and got it. But yeah, this
Yeah,
is
they
like
last a
this.
long time.
Right. The sticker price on my car when it was brand new, the window sticker was still in the glove box of this car that I just bought, and it was like 70 grand, brand new, and that's in 2018. So do whatever the inflation would be, whatever that would be worth nowadays, like 70 grand from 2018 to now. So it's probably 100 grand.
I mean, it usually goes down.
No,
Price goes down
inflation,
once you
like
drive it off the lot. Well,
right.
are you saying like if you were to buy a comparable car
Yeah, like I'm
like
saying,
in
if you bought that car,
2025?
right. So in 2018, this car would cost $70,000. If you bought that
Oh, I
same
see what you're
car
saying. Yeah,
today,
it'll be
yeah,
$100.
it'd be like 100 grand. Right.
Yeah, you're right.
Right.
You're right.
So
Yeah,
I
you're right.
got a
And
really
I bet
good
it's still
deal.
pretty. It looks pretty good. I bet.
Yeah, it's an excellent car. The inside looks brand new. Like I said, it's got a couple scuff marks on the paint. It's going to have 4 brand new rims on it here very shortly, so I'll take care of all that. I tinted the windows. Like it's a the bones of the car are really good. I can make it into something that'll look brand fucking new. So like I see it for what it can be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's gonna look
Yeah.
like a new car. You're not gonna be able
Right.
to tell.
No, and it is actually someone took good care of it. They did the service on it, they did the maintenance on it. I bought a warranty with the car, so if something happens to it, like I'm covered, even though it's a used car. I got a warranty through Lexus, so like it's good to go.
Have you guys ever leased a car?
I haven't.
Yeah. Yep. What about it?
Yeah,
I've
you
never
can
leased a car.
ask Baba about that.
It's fine.
Switch out your car every 3 years.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fine if you
Type
don't
deal.
get a test to your car, but the problem is you always go over the miles. Big problem with it.
unless you have full intent of buying the car at the end of the lease, that's the other option. She's trying to figure out how to get this $180,000 Mercedes.
Sounds like it, yeah.
She's like, I can lease
Let's see,
this
how much
bitch
would the
for like
payments
3
be?
years. Yeah, she's like, I can lease this bitch for like, I can finance it for like 96 months.
I gotta convince my husband.
Are
There
you
you
actually
go.
looking for a new car right now or what?
No, I just
Oh,
saw the
okay.
car and I was like, I like this car. I kind of want,
What
yeah, I do.
what do you drive now? Do you, I mean,
I
like,
don't,
what do you?
well, I don't say what I drive now, but I could use another car.
Well, I'm just saying you can at least tell. You can tell us the brand. You don't have to tell me like what the model is, but I mean, do you drive like a Dodge, a Ford?
No, I won't even say that.
Oh, for
I mean,
real?
my
Okay.
car's pretty good. My car's nice. It's pretty good. My husband
Okay.
will say I don't need another car, but he said
Okay.
that he said that before. But
Is it a car or an SUV? Can you say that?
no, it's a car.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I got you. I got
I
you.
just I like to drive fast.
Well, yeah.
So
No shit.
like I even want a motorcycle and my husband's like, "No, that's too
Oh,
dangerous."
I
yeah,
build
don't
Like,
those
do it.
too. I
Don't
build
do
those
it.
too.
Because once you have one, you never forget what it's like to ride.
Yep.
yeah.
It's a problem.
It is.
Yeah, I've rode before and so I'm like, I want a motorcycle, but
You rode on the
I'm gonna
back or you rode on the back of one or what?
well, I rode on a back and I rode a motorcycle before, like
What kind
You've
myself.
did you
actually
ride?
you drove a bike. That's
I
cool.
don't know what kind it was, but I really want one, but I'm gonna listen to my husband because I know it can be dangerous. But I'm like, I could drive in the
And
back
no.
roads just like
It's
on the
not. It's not.
weekends. I'm not gonna
No. It's not that it can. It is dangerous, and you will crash. It's just a matter of time.
And the problem is, it's not necessarily you that's
Thanks, Baba.
dangerous.
No
No,
problem.
wait. Listen, Baba will agree with this. It's not
No, I
necessarily.
know.
It's not
Like
you
I've
riding.
seen like a few accidents where people are yeah, lost their
Well, no,
lives just in the last few months
that's
where I
not what I'm
live.
Yeah.
saying. What I'm saying is, it's not you riding the bike that's dangerous. It's all the idiots around you in cars that don't pay attention. That's what's
Mhm.
dangerous. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like you could be a very safe person on a motorcycle and pay attention to what you're doing, whatever, but you're on a bike and you're completely exposed. And
Yeah.
people driving cars all around you that don't pay attention. If they would turn in front of you or sideswipe you, you'd be
It's
fucked.
over. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you'd be
over.
fucked. So I'd say you probably could ride one and be smart about it if you wanted to, but it's just the danger of all the people
It just
around you.
feels so freeing. It just feels so
Yeah,
nice
it's
that I'm
freedom.
like,
Yeah.
I just want to drive on the weekends, but yeah, I'm not pushing it. I'm not pushing it.
Well, you could always go the route of getting a bike or a certain kind of car, and you could only go to like the racetrack. You could track day it, where you drive on track. You could drive as fast as you want. You could do that as a hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's something about being on the open road, out on a
That's
country
true.
road. There's nothing
Yeah.
like that. Even track
No,
days don't compare to that.
no, they
Yes.
don't. No, you're right.
Yeah, I don't want
You're
to go
right.
round and round. I want to go drive the back country roads.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. I got you. Well, one day maybe you'll at least get one of the two things you want, Mercedes or something.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
If you want it bad enough, you'll get it.
Yeah.
Just get an e-bike.
Hell no.
Those little motherfuckers they're
They
fast.
can book. Oh yeah, they can
Yeah.
book, man.
Get a Vespa. My
Dude,
husband's like,
those
you
are,
can
hey,
have a
listen,
Vespa.
There
Those
you go.
Vespas are fucking dope. Those little Italian scooters, there's like a whole underground culture of people that collect those and like ride together in groups and shit. Those little Vespas are fucking cool, man.
Yeah,
There's a couple,
I'm not driving a Vespa.
dude. There's a couple people even in my shitty little town that have Vespas here. There's
I'd
a
rather
husband
get a
and wife.
golf cart. No, I'm just
Oh,
kidding. I don't know.
there you go. Well, you could get like a Can-Am side by side, like those side by sides people take off roading and shit. You could get one of those.
Mhm.
That's like a golf cart on steroids.
Yeah, we'll see.
You just sound to me like you just want to fucking be a race car driver is what it sounds like to me.
You know what's even better? Ask your husband if you can get a horse.
Oh
A
fuck.
horse? Like an actual
Yeah.
horse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the freedom of
It's
riding out
even
in the
more fun.
open and yeah. It's kind of like
Yeah,
a
I don't know about a
motorcycle.
horse.
It's just got one
You're
horsepower.
not a horse kind of gal.
I've been on a horse.
You
Like
don't
the
like
city
it?
next to us, like we can ride horses like on the street and stuff.
Yeah.
Not where I
Oh,
live, but right next door. I've never thought about a horse though.
No?
hmm.
No.
That's an expensive
That's
fucking
like
hobby.
yeah, because you have to like you have to house them, you have to pay for their
Yep.
rent and all their food and all that stuff. You
Yeah,
have their
true.
Yep.
caretaker.
Yeah, it's expensive to own fucking horses, man. That's like rich people shit.
It's like a motorcycle you have to build a relationship with.
Yeah, yeah. And if the horse doesn't like you, if
You're
the horse
fucked.
doesn't like you, it'll throw you the fuck off of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could just go down and like ride a horse, you know? You can just go
Exactly.
pay to
See?
ride a horse.
Yeah, you can do
Exactly.
that.
Try it out.
Yeah, we have that close by.
It's still dangerous. I mean, the thing can throw you off and, you know,
Yeah.
fuck you up
So
pretty bad. So,
instead of like a street bike, what about like a motorcycle, like a dirt bike you could ride like off road? What about that?
Mhm. Yeah, that would be cool. Like a dirt
You could
bike.
do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
you
have a
could do
dirt bike
that.
park.
Okay. So I mean, you wouldn't be able to you wouldn't have to worry about traffic and all that kind of shit. You could still be free and go ride through the woods and all that kind of stuff. You could do that.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
No.
Yeah. Good idea.
There
try
you go.
skateboarding. You could try skateboarding.
Fucking Bam Margera. Fucking Viva
Nah,
La
break a
Bam.
wrist, a
Yeah.
leg, something.
She's fucking Tony Hawk's pro skater.
No, I'm good on the skateboard.
Yeah.
Nah.
If you're going to do
Have you
that, you might
guys,
as well go to surf.
do you guys know how to skateboard?
When I was a kid,
When
yeah,
I
but
was a
not
kid,
now.
yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't any good, but
Writers, how about you? Are you still there?
he's sleeping.
She's doing her research for her
Research.
channel. For her channel.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing, I don't know. Sometimes she's like researching topics and things. She goes
Yeah,
down the rabbit hole.
what kind of channel is she doing? What are the topics like or
It's
what?
Talk About It podcast, Writers for Life. She talks about different topics like political stuff,
Oh, okay.
crimes, things on
Hmm.
the news. Yeah, she has a good channel. She goes through different topics.
Check it
Are we
out.
allowed to say the name on here or
Yeah, it's Writers for Life.
Writers? Okay, okay.
I don't know if anybody can drop her channel. She's
I'll
actually
just.
co-streaming right now.
I'll
What?
bet.
We're on another channel?
Yeah, say hi. Hi,
Hello.
everyone.
Oh shit. We might even be on Twitch
I
for
want
all
to
we
say it's
know.
just Writers for Life. Just like, I think, what does her name say on here? On the StreamYard. Yeah, Writers for Life.
StreamYard should
Talk
tell
About It
you
podcast.
when other people are if you're on the show, it should tell you that it's broadcasting somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't see anywhere where it says it, but
Mm-mm.
What are you trying to figure out?
Whoa.
drop your link, Writers. What's your channel's name? Like, is it Writers for Life? That's it?
Who?
If somebody wants to find your channel, or maybe you can drop it. She sounds like she's in the sauna or in the bathtub or something.
Right.
A little thing.
Hello? Did I drop out?
No, I hear you.
I think she's trying to drop her channel.
I'm gonna get you some new headphones, Commander. I got you.
Stoic said, which of these is the hardest pill to swallow? Number 1, you wasted your own time. Number 2, not everyone will support you. Number 3, you're the problem. Or for, I can't read the rest of that. Or for most people don't care. Stoic, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Stoic said, which of these is the hardest pill to swallow? 1, you wasted your own time. 2, not everyone will support you. 3, you the problem. Or 4, most people don't care.
I think number 1, you wasted your own time. That's the hardest pill to swallow for me. Because you can't control other people, right? But you can control what you do. And if you wasted your own time, then that would be the hardest thing for me. Because, yeah, not everyone's going to support you.
Man, do you
That's a
hear how
fact.
quiet that got quiet? She's got hella background noise.
Yeah, writers, you have a lot of noise back there.
She,
Sounds like the
you
AC's
can.
running or something.
Did you go into settings on her audio and see if she's got echo cancellation on? It might calm it down.
I don't know. I can
I
try.
just told y'all it's not gonna work. I got fans on.
Yeah, that shit sounds like you're in a
Oh,
wind
she has
tunnel.
fans.
Yeah, it sounds like she's in a wind tunnel, bro.
It's hot.
And it feels good too.
Okay. Do you, girl?
Does it get like humid in Philly? She's in Philly.
I'll get humid as fuck in Ohio, so I know it does in Pennsylvania because she's right next door. Yeah,
Oh, Baba dropped.
Oh,
Shout out to
yeah.
Baba. Shout out to the Word. Hopefully he's getting rest and not wondering what we're doing.
Yeah, and I'm
Hopefully we're
gonna
not
go ahead
keeping
and
him up.
I'm gonna let you shut it down anyway. Like I said, I need to
All
go
right.
ahead
Thank
and.
you for coming up.
No, I appreciate you keeping it going or whatever. You know what I mean?
Good conversation.
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I have my moments.
Yeah, no, you're great. Have a
I
safe
have.
trip. Have a safe drive. And then we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, I'll see you guys whether it's Friday or whenever he fires up. You know, like I said, into Saturday or something. But I'll hop back on.
Sounds good. Take it
All right. See
easy.
you guys later. See you, chat. See you guys.
She dropped her link in the chat if you want to grab it before you go on your way out. Stoic 9, I hope you're doing better. Keep your head up. Let's see, who's in the back chat?
This iPad's fucking up.
Baba. Oh, okay. Good night, Baba. Baba chopped out.
Yeah. All right. I'm trying to do something before I get off here. It's not letting me. Hang on a minute.
Okay, no worries. Stoic, yeah, I don't know. I don't think, I wouldn't want to focus like, because you can't go back and change things, right? So like if you wasted time doing something or not doing something that you thought you should be doing, like the only thing you can do is start today, right? Like what do they say? Like you could have planted a tree 20 years ago and it would have been full grown, but the best time to plant a tree is now. Like the next best time is today because you can't go back in time.
Man, they're in her bag today, y'all.
Listen, I heard somebody say that the other day and I was like, man, that's right. Like that's pretty good. Like, damn, I could have planted a tree 20 years ago and it would have been great, right? It would have been maybe already producing some fruit, but we're still alive. We still have opportunity. So there's Stoic says there's only now, which is the best part. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And then like Dolly Bear said, none of us are gonna get off this earth alive. Well, some people say we still live on, right? But none of us are gonna get off this earth with our physical bodies. So while we're here, just try to make the best of it. Try to get along the best you can. It's only a matter of time. All we have is one day at a time. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what tomorrow brings. All right, writers, you want to close it out? Since you got the fans going and it's hard to hear you.
I've been on mute the whole time.
We have 10 people. We have 10 people watching. Is that like a combined number with your channel and Words, or just Word?
No, that's gotta be Word.
That's just Word?
Yeah, right now. Let me see.
Okay. The Word has 10 viewers right now.
Word has 5 viewers.
You have 5?
No, I only got 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if the number I see is combined or just this channel or the Words. But shout out to writers and writers chat. You got any upcoming live streams or topics?
Me?
Yeah, you have anything in mind that you're working on?
Yeah, I'm going live tonight. I'm gonna work on the upgrade on Philly.
You're gonna start a new stream?
No, not now. I said I'm going live tonight, not now.
Oh, you're talking about later on.
Yeah.
My husband always tells me, because I say tomorrow, and then he's like, but today is tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, yeah, but not until I sleep and wake up is it tomorrow for me.
I can't.
I don't feel like it's tomorrow until I go to bed and wake up again. Good night, Baba. Peace. Peace.
Buenas noches.
All right, well, let's close it out then, unless you want to stay and talk about something.
I don't know what you want to talk about. So 5 in the morning.
Yeah, it's late. We should all get some rest.
I don't got travel right now. I know I'm gonna go to physical therapy at 10 o'clock. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. In 5 hours?
Huh?
You have to go to physical therapy in 5 hours?
At 10 o'clock?
Oh, shoot. All right, guys. Well, let's close it out like Word says. Oh, wait. Let's look at the media. Shoot, I don't know what he plays. Let me see.
Look at her. Yo. Commander learning.
How are we going to close this out? What does he play on here? Let me see. He's got some video clips. I don't even know. There's so many. I don't know which one he uses.
I don't know. I guess this one.
I see the crash out. Let's see. Background music. No. Oh, wait. Are these? What's that?
You're on the media answers, right?
Yeah. But he's got so many videos. I don't know which one he uses to close out.
Video clips.
Video. Oh, okay. Yeah. The first one. I scrolled down too far. We got an intro and we got an outro. All right. Okay. So like Word says, care about how you feel. If you heard anything, no, what does he say? If we said anything, hit the like, subscribe. And these are the conversations that build nations. And if we, I'm trying to remember what he said.
I can't.
Come on, writers, help me out. Help me out. Listen, we listen to this outro all the time.
No, listen. Commander got to come up with her own little slogan. For real. Yes, a better you is a better us.
A better you is a better us, and for sure he said to say, you know, care
Let's
about
build
how you feel.
conversations. Care about
Care about how you feel. Yeah.
Yo, she's.
These are the conversations that build nations, and if we said anything that resonates, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe. And until then, we out. Good night, 9.
10% of her brain. All right, guys.
Good night, 9.
Yeah, her brain. She's
Shout out
getting
to the
this live
word.
together.
All right, here's the outro. Or maybe not.
We got it together.
My phone's been glitching, so
Listen.
I might not even be able to do it. Oh, wait.
People forget we're in the middle of WW3. Everything gonna be glitching.
My phone's been like ghost typing and it's been giving me trouble, so I'm clicking on it, but it's not working.
All right, so y'all gonna get an outro next time.
Hold on. Let me try something.
Let's see. Commander learning. All right, so I gotta give them some time. Along with my fans. A better you is a better us.
Okay, that didn't work. Why? All I'm supposed to do is click on it, right? Or the 3 dots, because I clicked the 3 dots and it says remove outro.
You just click on the video.
Yeah, I'm clicking. See, my phone is. You suck, phone. Let's see if the intro works. Oh. The intro has a bunch of stuff. Let's see. I'm going to play the intro. Set as intro video. Oh no, that's like 2 minutes long. That's too long. Well, he's got 9 seconds. Yeah, it's not working for me.
Commander,
oh well.
She got to go live a few times on her own. Today was her first live.
I think it's my phone though, because my phone's been glitching because I'm clicking on it and it's not working. So, anyways, guys, all right, we out. We out. Shout out to writers. Shout out to the chat.
Wait, my damn screen froze.
Your screen froze too?
There we go. Now I can come off. Damn. Report to HR. HR is having trouble right now. We cannot report to HR.
HR is closed for the holiday.
HR
she took the whole week off.
She's having technical difficulties right now. All right. She is lost in the matrix and trying to figure it out. She'll figure it out by her second live. All right. Whenever she tries to do that one.
All right. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to Writers Chat. Good night.
Shout out.
I do it for the 9.
What up, 9?
Acknowledge me!
They've been telling y'all love, and I can't even tell y'all right. The way you feel influences the way you think, and the way you think dictates the actions you take.
You there, sitting at home, acknowledge me.
When I move, is it a quick rumble? I won't ever, ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble.